manslaughter.
99% of gun crimes are committed with illegal firearms.
How many?
99%.
That's I don't understand with all these things.
I would say like the few 1% would probably be that dude we seen in Arvada, Colorado, who went on the rampage for trying to shoot that cop.
All right,
I bet you he got his AR-15 legally.
I'm going Fleckus.
But I'm telling you right now, 99% of gun crimes all across the country are illegal firearms.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And gun control laws don't affect the criminals. It affects the regular, everyday American citizen.
Yep. And you know what? Those gun control laws also do not affect the legally insane people either. Because if they should, even though, I mean, I do agree with like confidentiality health wise, but if you have like brain altering issues, I think that should be reported to the feds when it comes to trying to buy a firearm. Like,
so PTSD,
people,
a veteran with PTSD shouldn't own a firearm?
Yeah. I think if you've been, if you have been diagnosed with PTSD in general, it doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not, I honestly agree that they should not own a firearm. Let me give you an example. 1995, Oklahoma, Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bombing. He was a prior military vet, and he had PTSD. And how many people did he kill?
Yeah, but it wasn't with a firearm.
It was with manure.
Should they stop him from renting
say like if he didn't have a bomb,
trucks?
If he didn't have a bomb, but he still had the intent, what are you going to go for?
Okay, what if the guy in Arvada that saved those cops had PTSD, but he had a firearm and saved all those people in the neighborhood?
He didn't have PTSD.
But we don't know that,
dude.
We don't know about.
You're going way off the subject.
So did you?
No, we're not.
Timothy McVeigh,
I am
used
not
the
going
bomb.
off the subject. I am saying that people with PTSD or any kind of brain altering issues should not be allowed to buy legal firearms. That's all I'm saying.
But they defended
I use Timothy McVeigh as an example because you brought up, well, what about somebody in the military that was diagnosed with PTSD? Timothy McVeigh was in the military and he was diagnosed with PTSD and he killed people. That's all I'm saying. That's why I used him as an example. You are talking about that Hurley guy. We don't know if he was in the military. We don't know if he had PTSD.
But it was an example.
But obviously, the guy that did have an AR-15, I will guarantee he had that AR-15 legally.
I guarantee
he did have some mental issues. Obviously, if he had something out against
what if they're
the cops,
being medicated for their PTSD? What if they're going through
brain altering issues? Still, same thing. No, if it was me.
So wait a minute.
Office,
let me ask you this honest question.
If you're taking medication,
wait a minute.
No.
So some young man at 18 years old decides he's going to sign up in the military. He's going to serve his country and
defend the Second Amendment,
defend the First Amendment, everything else. He's going to go over and fight a war that some jagoff in Washington decided to get the country mixed up in, right? Whether it wasn't his choice, he's just doing what he was asked to do. And he knew that going in. He knew that there's a possibility that he could go to war. So he goes over and he shoots a bunch of these sand creatures over there. And in the meantime, he sees a couple of his buddies get blown up, which messes with his head a little bit. Are you telling me that because he was a patriot and went to fight for the war and then came home, he's got to sacrifice his Second Amendment rights to protect his family?
That is exactly what I'm telling you, sir. Because if it is messing with his head, then he does not need to be having a firearm. Plain and simple. If you go over there and something like that messes with your head and you cannot handle yourself without medication, then you should have no business handling a firearm.
But where do you draw the line? What about
I draw the line at mental.
No, but I'm saying as far as weapons are concerned,
a knife, fine.
A Bowie knife,
a knife is fine. Have you heard that old saying? Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, but
if somebody drew a knife on me,
difference.
they're going to get shot. I don't have mental issues, though.
That's because you carry a gun. But I'm talking about someone with PTSD.
I don't carry a gun with murderous intent.
No, but no, you're missing my point. Take you out of the picture. I'm talking about this vet now that's no longer allowed to protect his family with the Second Amendment because you feel he's not stable enough to do so.
Yes.
So he can go out now and he can purchase a samurai sword. He can now go out and purchase a Bowie knife. If he wants to kill somebody, he's going to kill somebody regardless. Just like Timothy McVeigh, your example, he used a freaking rental truck and some manure and he blew up a hell of a lot of people. And by the way, Timothy McVeigh was also very involved with Mohammed Atta, or whatever the hell his name is, that flew the jet into one of the Twin Towers. Timothy McVeigh was radicalized. He was a freaking radicalized nut, and he was working with those people that eventually took down the Twin Towers.
Right. So what is wrong with doing a little further investigation with somebody who does have known mental problems?
I'm not saying
they buy a gun.
I'm saying if you come home with PTSD, then the government has a responsibility to give you
you did say that, but you also threw in another key words, and correct me if I'm wrong. You threw in, but he got a little mentally messed up from seeing a couple of his buddies out there getting killed. So a little mentally messed up. Okay. Before we sell this guy personally owned firearm, what's wrong with making sure that he's mentally stable because
he didn't commit any crimes, and the Second Amendment guarantees you your right to bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. Yeah,
I think you're kind of just missing the point a little bit. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about infringement.
Cheekos Angry Conservative said, Cheekos, I have PTSD, so I should have to turn in my guns because I have it. I have never shot anyone that didn't deserve it.
Stepping way ahead of me. I'm not talking about infringement. All I'm talking about is there has to be a line drawn in the sand. When we hear about these mass shootings, and this is and correct me if I'm wrong, are these mass shootings are done with people who buy firearms legally, and they have mental issues.
Yeah, but they're not PTSD.
How can
PTSD mental
why
issues.
should we not have the people who have mental issues, their mental issues reported to the feds ahead of time before they buy the firearms?
Those are red flag laws. So you're like a proponent of red flag laws?
So we should have some red flags. That's all I'm saying. It could prevent a lot of mass shootings. And I'm not saying like totally throw them out of the loop of getting firearms, but I am saying, okay, let's do like some reviews. Let's talk to this person. Let's find out their mental stability before giving them.
Let me ask you this question.
That's it, man.
Statistically speaking, are more people protected with legal firearm owners than or more people killed by legal firearm owners?
No, more people are. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you say illegal or legal?
Legal. So I'm talking.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. More people are protected,
right?
But all I'm saying, if you do the math, obviously all the gun crimes, like I said, 99% of gun crimes are committed by illegal firearm owners.
Uh-huh.
The 1%, which is like the mass shootings, are legal firearms with people with mental issues. And I'm saying all we need to do is
what's preventing that vet from getting an illegal gun then?
That's true.
Nothing's preventing the vet from
so what you're doing is you're putting that vet into a position now where he wants to protect his family, and now you're creating a felon out of this vet who fought for his country and fought for our rights.
See, you're jumping a gun. I said nothing about felon or creating felons. See,
no, I'm saying that. What I'm saying that you're saying that he can no longer own a gun.
If you are
legally
diagnosed with PTSD,
he can't own a gun. That's what you're saying.
You are taking medication to handle your own mental stability,
right?
Why should you be able to handle a firearm if you can't?
But what I'm saying,
if you can't even handle your own mental state,
I get that. But
why do you need to handle a mental?
I get it. But what I'm saying is they're going to go out and get one anyway. So what you're doing now is you're putting that person into a position where he now has to be an illegal gun purchaser.
I think that they should jump through a few more hoops before purchasing a firearm. And I'm not just talking about vets. I'm talking about people who are taking medication, brain altering medication in general.
Well, there's
not just vets. I'm talking about everybody, because it's not just vets.
But I believe that's a law that's already out there. If someone is mentally unstable,
it is not enforced. We know that by looking at.
But is there a law there? I don't care if it's enforced or not. Is there a law?
I don't know.
What's passing another law going to do? If they're not enforcing that law,
I question that.
But if they're not enforcing that law, why would you pass another law that they're not going to enforce? If it's already out there.
It's not that I wouldn't pass a law that they would enforce. What I would pass is their medical history will be reported to the feds if they want to buy a firearm. And if there is anything where they are taking mind-altering drugs, then yes, you will be stopped and you will be questioned. You will be pulled aside, and you're going to wait longer to get your.
There's a question on a Second Amendment when you apply for your right to carry. There's a question that asks you, "Are you of sound mind?" And if you say no, you're not allowed to own a firearm. Okay,
that's a shitty law. Anybody can say. Just check yes all day.
My point is,
if there is a question that says, "Are you a dumbass?"
No, but my point is this: you're not listening.
Can I interject a question? So he says mind-altering drugs, right?
Mind-altering drugs.
Okay,
let me tell you right now, in the state of New Mexico, and I'm sorry to cut you off, if you have a license to buy medicinal marijuana, you cannot buy a firearm because you're taking mind-altering drugs. So if marijuana is a mind-altering drug, why is not Percocet or Ritalin or any of these other pharmaceutical drugs that are obviously way worse than marijuana? I mean,
well, my question is this, and I'm not being an asshole. This is a legitimate question, and it's this. Okay, let's say John wants to get high, right? John has a firearm, and this is all for instance. YouTube. John gets his marijuana from the streets. He still owns a firearm. Dude, there's no loophole that's going to be able to stop people from mind-altering drugs. Because, dude, then heroin addicts, dude, they can still get it. They're getting it from the streets. I mean, there's so much out there that you can't control. You can't control people. And the sad thing is, Cheekos, is if a person's going to buy a gun, they're going to buy it either from the streets or from a dealer. And I'd rather have somebody with mind-altering drugs buy it from a dealer with a serial number where we could track that gun if they do something stupid.
Yeah, I would rather have the background check done. I would rather know, the fact that this person went through, because in order to carry a gun, concealed gun, most states, not all states, not Arizona, but a lot of states do require that you have, a concealed carry permit. And there are hoops that you got to jump through. But I can't see sending someone off to fight a war that's not his choice. It's his duty, his responsibility, and then stripping him of his constitutional rights. I just can't see that. I don't feel like that's at all ethical. And I pray that person, if he does buy a gun and he whacks his wife with it, or he goes out and causes some, I'm sorry, but along with freedom comes catastrophes sometimes. But I would rather live in a free state and deal with the catastrophes than live in a state where I'm told what I can and can't do because I've got some post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm just trying to bring up a logical reason to try to prevent these supposed mass shootings. I mean, and I know this is a fictional.
It's all hypothetical.
And I'm gonna bring up a hypothetical scenario. I mean, Full Metal Jacket. It's a fictional movie, right? But what happened to the gunnery sergeant? I mean, the drill instructor. Obviously, there was someone who could not handle the pressure, the issues, and with the gun and everything put together, and he ended up smoking that drill sergeant. Right. All I'm saying is, not everybody is not built the same way. And if there is somebody who if they cannot, they get shipped off, and I'm not dogging on vets or anything. All I'm saying is, people handle situations in different ways. And if you are out in a scenario to where you crack mentally, to where you need to see psychiatrists and you need to take mind altering medication to handle everything that you've been through, I just don't think that you should have a firearm in your hands. You know, that's all I'm saying.
No, I agree.
And it's not just with vets.
I agree. I know what you're saying.
It's not just vets. You got weak ass people who don't even get put in those sim situations as veterans during wartime, but they're having all these whatever issues they're having. They do not need to have firearms, and I think they need to be reviewed.
The vast majority.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, dude, but
yeah,
because I mean, I get what you're saying, because even the liar Chris Kyle got killed.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to
by his buddy
on anybody's Second Amendment rights. All I'm saying is, if you got mental issues, and if you're taking medication to handle
it's
your
actually a good
own
conversation,
and I'm saying if you're taking medication to handle your own mental problems, why should you have a firearm? Why? I mean, give me a good, legitimate
to protect
reason
your
why.
wife and children in case someone breaks into your home.
You're taking medication to protect yourself.
okay, but let me ask you
No,
this.
you asked me why
if you can't protect yourself by yourself, if you can't protect yourself by yourself, you need mind altering medication. You have no business trying to protect anybody else.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Get flatline plain out.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's say I have PTSD, right? I do. All right. Well, Bree C don't. She buys a firearm. Now there's a firearm in my house. I mean, that what I'm saying is there's loopholes to get around everything.
I see that. There's loopholes to everything. But, you know, it goes on the dependency. So say like Bree, you and her, you've been together for a long time. She trusts you for a certain amount of things. And she knows like, okay, I feel comfortable enough to buy this firearm. I don't think that Bear is going to just grab my firearm and just start killing random people. You know what I mean? Like, you guys develop a relationship. She knows you. And, you know,
yeah, but he still has access to a firearm.
He does, but he doesn't.
Isn't that the whole point?
He does not have it on his own accountability. He has to get access to it on a firearm through somebody else. So it's a little bit more work. All I'm saying is there's loopholes. Like you said, there are loopholes to everything.
What if this vet comes home with post-traumatic stress? He's taking his medication so that he's not having his night terrors and all the other bullshit that these kids go through.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great conversation, guys. And we're having it civil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
That's what I like about it. I like.
But how many Vietnam vets have you seen? Because I've seen a few.
Well, dude, like I said,
first of all,
like I've seen like this girl I used to date a long time ago. Her grandpa was in Vietnam, and if you put sour cream on the table, he would fucking flip the table over. He'd go fucking nuts over sour cream, whatever his reason was. But it's like, damn, should a person like that have a firearm?
It doesn't sound like he's being medicated. No, doesn't sound like he's being treated.
See, and here's
so
the
he's
thing.
left untreated because the government doesn't give a shit about the Vietnam vets. They never did.
If you're being medicated,
so you can.
What is a firearm?
Because medication is helping you. Medication is bringing you back and helping. And
medication is helping you, but how does a firearm help?
But you know,
because you're protecting your family or yourself. What if you're? Let me ask this question, Bear. What if you're a professional? Now you come home from the war, you get yourself into a job, and now you're a traveling salesperson or you're traveling, and you're telling me that this person now doesn't have the right to protect himself. He may get off at the wrong exit. He may get off. He may be involved, get into a bad scenario. He doesn't have the right to protect himself. That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on. You're going to have to repeat that one more time. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Okay. So the vet comes home. He's got PTSD. Right. Thank God we're starting to recognize PTSD. So he goes to the VA. He gets treated. Part of his treatment is he gets medicated so that the night terrors and all that other bullshit goes away. Right. It helps go away. He's going through therapy, whatever. In the meantime, he lands a job where he's got to travel maybe into the city and things like that for work. And now it's 8:00 at night. He pulls off the road to fill up gas and he's in a bad neighborhood. He doesn't, according to you, he doesn't have the right or shouldn't have the right to protect himself in case he gets jumped at a gas pump.
You're flipping my words.
That's not right.
I never said he didn't have the right to protect himself. I said he didn't have the right to purchase a legal firearm.
So how can he protect himself if he's not allowed to own a firearm?
Well,
he's got to get one illegally, I guess.
No, he should not be mentally insane.
That's not an answer.
Okay,
that's a cop out.
No, you are using hypothetical scenarios.
This whole conversation's hypothetical.
I can give you a hypothetical.
You brought up a movie.
So how does he get a job with his mental instability?
You brought up a movie, so let's talk about hypotheticals.
Where he's working 8 o'clock at night with his mental instability.
I don't care what kind of job it is. It could be a sales job. It could be a traveling sales job where he has to travel from one side of the state to the other. And he's on his way home on a Friday night, and he pulls over, doesn't know where he's at. He pulls off into a bad neighborhood and gets jumped. You said it can happen in this city all the time. He doesn't have the right to protect himself?
How many bad neighborhoods have you pulled into and got jumped?
I haven't.
Exactly. How often does that happen?
How often is it in vets that are blowing people up everywhere?
I mean, it could happen to anybody at any time. It's like a lottery. It's like getting
That's
struck
why you have
by
a fire
lightning.
hydrant. No,
it's like
that's why you have a fire hydrant in your kitchen. God forbid something catches on fire. But how many times does your kitchen burn down?
You don't have never.
So why do you have a fire hydrant?
I don't know. It's probably expired too. But all I'm saying too is if you're outside,
Bree says, I think you need to go for a smoke.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if you're outside, why not stand under a bridge the entire time when there's a rainstorm? Because you might get struck by lightning. People just don't do that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I got a good question.
This hypothetical scenario,
dude, you were bringing up a movie with a fictional character as your example.
I know, because look, what about Nevada?
Okay, you're using one example.
No, I'm talking about Colorado.
Columbine was done by
just happened.
They were done by kids.
Yeah, but they were legal.
No, they were not. They were not
legal. They got them from their parents.
Okay, they were not legally allowed to have them.
Purchased.
They were not legally allowed to have them. So I buy a gun, some dude breaks in my house and steals it and goes and kills somebody. That's a legally purchased gun.
The shooter we were talking about had a legal AR-15, mentally unstable. The one that just happened at that grocery store.
He was not mentally unstable. He was actually a genius going for his doctorate degree.
So a dude with orange hair who tries to pretend like he was Joker from Batman is not mentally unstable.
But we didn't know that at the time because he was a genius going for his doctorate degree.
You have to. They're all mentally unstable. If you walk into a building and kill 50 people with a gun, you're mentally unstable. Okay, how are you supposed to predict that?
How do you suppose that we handle this situation? I'm bringing up a scenario where we
stop making these people into martyrs. We stop putting their pictures and faces all over the media and their names, and we stop treating them like they're some kind of fucking hero. If when this bullshit goes down, we need to fucking bury the story with their dead body.
We do need a smoke, man. You are starting to cuss way too
much. I'm sorry. All right. Renee says, after the break, let's take a poll on the issue. I agree. So let me ask you this. We'll just put it out there. If someone is diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, like many of our vets are, like many rape victims are, etc., should they...
Hold on real quick. Careful with this poll. I didn't say they should be totally banned from guns. All I'm saying, because we were discussing this out back, I think they should take a little more extra steps medically, professionally wise, and be evaluated more by a psychiatrist prior to getting that firearm.
All right.
And being cleared. You know, they should be cleared by a psychiatrist first.
Yeah, and so what do you guys think? Do you guys think that if you are diagnosed with PTSD, should you have to go through multiple steps of evaluation prior to being allowed to exercise your Second Amendment rights? Is that a good way to ask the question, Cheekos?
I think so, yes. That's a perfect way.
All right, so hit 1 if yes, you think they need to go through multiple steps before exercising their Second Amendment rights, and press 2 if you think they should not have to go through multiple steps to exercise their Second Amendment rights. Hey, Bree says, share a peace pipe. I think that was probably a good idea, and we kind of did, but we didn't. Oh, a Mind of Her Own is in the room. I haven't seen a Mind of Her Own for a while.
She might have been in the Conservative the TCB show.
Yeah. Oh, maybe she might. Yeah, she's probably gone. We lost the I don't know if that was a good move.
Hopefully, hopefully they heard what you were saying, though. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, we did take a break. Other people may have taken a break at the same time too. I don't know.
The ghost says, "Can you imagine Poopy Pants Biden? I like to call him Whispering Joe, thinking he's Tom Cruise flying an F-15, dropping nukes on us." Yeah,
they're coming over.
He's pretending that electric
Okay,
F-150.
we doubled our viewers. We've had it 4 since our.
Okay, so
good. Well, welcome to
cool.
the Conservative Chicanos channel. Let's see. He would be dumping poo everywhere. Yeah, that's right. I like this video, guys. Yeah, I hope she came back. Let's hope so.
Yeah, but unlike Biden, you can't sue the diaper company for leaking poo everywhere. They did not expect him to shit more than once in his pants. Just like he was saying about, we need to hold all these gun companies accountable. That's BS.
Mind of Our Own says, I think they're all in the bathroom. Did anyone watch President Trump's rally tonight? No, we watched part of it. We just watched a small bit, but it was nice to see him back.
But we were cooking, though.
We were cooking.
Yeah.
We were cooking with gas.
We're just tearing that up in the kitchen.
The ghost says, someone hand me a beer. Yeah, I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Let's see. Anyway, we'll just drop. That's okay. Renee B says, guys, I have a question for the chat. Who categorically believes anyone with a mental health issue should be banned from owning a gun?
See, there she goes, man. She said banned when I'm like, clearly, I'm just trying to say that they shouldn't be completely banned. They should have to take extra measures in getting a firearm. Like, they should be evaluated by a mental health expert. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's not an infringement on your gun ownership rights. All it's saying is, like, should we give a mentally unstable person a gun? Well, let's have him professionally evaluated. That's right. It. And that is it.
That process is pretty much already there.
I think it should be enforced a little more.
Okay, and maybe that's fair enough. Fair enough. But I mean, if you're diagnosed, like we were talking during our little smoke break back there, if you're diagnosed with schizophrenia or something like that, and the doctor, determines that you're either a threat to yourself or to others, that is logged into a system, and you should not be able to acquire a gun. That's why we do national background checks. What other reason would we have to do a national background check? Or, it's got to pick up something.
Well, let me kind of sway away from guns for a second here. Can we say that, because remember we were talking about that, who was that kid who was 9 years old and started taking hormone blockers? And now how messed up is that kid, right?
Jazz Jennings.
Okay. Would you say that his parents were probably a little mental unstable? Should they be trusted with a firearm if they can't even raise their kid right?
I don't know. I mean, do the two go hand in hand?
Go through a little bit more mental evaluation before giving this kid hormone blockers and doing all this stuff? I mean, that is a little crazy, right? So all I'm saying is, you got mentally insane people that are acquiring firearms legally, that maybe there should be a few extra steps taken to get, before they have a firearm put in their hands. Like, maybe they should be mentally evaluated a little more by a professional and be cleared, prior to being able to acquire a firearm.
Well, I just think that people.
Well, John Lovin says, if it's too dangerous for somebody to own a gun, then is it too dangerous to own a car?
See, he is just taking it way out of concept. They're talking like I'm trying to say that they should be banned from owning a firearm. All I'm saying is they need there should be a red flag system where it's put up, okay, this person is taking mind-altering drugs for this certain reason. There's a red flag. Before the purchase of a firearm, they need to have a written approval from a mental health expert clearing them saying that they are allowed to acquire a firearm.
Now,
that is all I'm saying.
Let me ask you this question: what if that mental health expert is an anti-gunner?
Can I say one thing though?
Well, see,
In politics gets involved in their decision.
Can I say one thing though? Wouldn't that be a violation of HIPAA?
See, and that has been brought up before to me. That has been brought up because everybody does have their
right to their privacy,
to their privacy. Except that's the only exception, is all I'm saying. There should be a red flag. And that's the only red flag. I'm not saying it should be acquired to anything else in life. Nothing else. It should not prevent them from getting a job, purchasing a home or a vehicle. All it is a firearm. And, we've had this conversation earlier. I remember you're saying, oh, you can use a vehicle to kill somebody. You can use a brick to kill somebody. But we're saying, why were the reason bricks were made? Bricks were made to build. Vehicles were made to transport. Guns
were made to hunt.
Exactly. That is taking a life.
What about nunchucks?
Is it not? I mean, you are not physically killing something with a gun. What else is a gun used for?
What about a bear trap?
It's not used to nail nails in a wall. It's not used to put up stucco.
What about nunchucks?
Nunchucks, you know what? That interesting fact. Nunchucks are an old ancient farmer's tool from China. They are used by farmers as a weapon, but there is actually a farming tool.
But you could kill somebody with it, though.
Hell yeah,
they're made to hurt somebody. They're not made to farm. They're not made to pick corn.
Are nunchucks legal to carry in Arizona?
I don't know.
You told me they weren't.
No,
you literally told me you cannot carry these.
If you're not allowed to carry a weapon, you can't carry them, is what I'm saying.
No, if you have the right to carry a nunchucks and I was in New York, I'd get arrested real quick. They're illegal. They are illegal in New York. So
the damn turtles.
That's why. Man, don't play my tortoises, bro. Kevin and Whitney have nothing to do with this conversation. No, but I'm saying nunchucks are illegal in certain states. So
no, we're just making conversation. That's why
exactly.
I thought, okay, what about a samurai sword?
Also illegal in certain states. You guys are bringing up weapons that I have.
I didn't even know you had a samurai sword.
What?
I didn't know you.
I was showing John Smith mine.
You didn't show me that one.
I didn't.
No, I saw like your Rambo knife.
Everybody in the chat, smash a 1 if you want to see Cheekos. And it technically it's not a samurai sword; it's a katana.
Oh,
smash a 1 if you want to see Cheekos katana. I'll bust it out right now and show you guys.
Nana, and this is a good point. Okay, this is what we were talking about on our little break too. She said, "I have a brother that has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a completely different level than post-traumatic stress disorder.
That's a schizophrenia. Serious.
Schizophrenia is when you're very likely to hurt yourself or hurt someone else.
You have multiple personalities when you're schizophrenic.
And you've been diagnosed by a trained professional. You've been diagnosed by, most likely, a psychiatrist would diagnose someone with schizophrenia, and they would need to be heavily medicated. And she said a good point. She said every day people don't know if he's been on his meds or not. And there'd be, and someone that has schizophrenia, that's diagnosed with schizophrenia, in my opinion, should not have a gun. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder, unless I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't say that for sure.
Well, yeah,
but if someone is medicated, and let's say they do have schizophrenia and they're medicated and they're taking their meds, but the minute they stop taking their meds, and it needs to be monitored, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be some sort of family responsibility, or there's got to be whoever their caretaker is.
Well, the psychiatrist will know.
There's a loophole to that too, Nana. And Nana's like proving my point. I'm not just talking about PTSD. I'm just talking about mind-altering problems in general. Schizophrenia is definitely a serious issue. Yeah. And look, she says right there verbatim, I would be scared if he had a gun. Now, is he legally not able to buy a firearm, Nana? What if he went to a pawn shop tomorrow and nobody was with him. He's by himself.
Still
he
has to
decides
do a background check.
fill out the form. Exactly. But all they check is your criminal history. And if he doesn't have a criminal history, but he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia, can he get a firearm? That's my question.
I guess my question is this. This is the United States of America. We're different than any other country in the world. We're the only country in the world that has a Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Okay. And the entire basis of this country is that you're innocent until proven guilty. And so I don't necessarily believe that anyone, I would even say felons who've done their time and they come out of prison and they've served their term.
I said 7 years.
I don't think they should be banned from owning a firearm.
I think 7 years. Because most people repeat. If you're going to be a repeat offender, you repeat within 7 years.
And I also think it depends on why they're a felon in the first place.
But if you
what was the charge?
And that's fine
true.
too. But what I'm saying is, if you are innocent until proven guilty, how can you take someone's First and Second Amendment rights away from them if they have caused or committed no crimes? You can't, because you can't get inside their head.
That is true, but
you don't know what they're thinking. And
here's the thing where
give the benefit of the doubt.
I was thinking outside the box. You're talking about innocent until proven guilty, but if you've already been diagnosed,
that's not
with
a crime.
A
mental illness isn't a crime.
Illness, and you're taking mind-altering medication.
But that's not a crime.
Technically, you've already been diagnosed, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be prevented from getting the gun. See, this is where you're just taking it out of my context. All I'm saying is they need to be evaluated. They need to go through extra measures prior to getting that firearm. They need to be cleared by a psychiatrist, a professional, saying, okay, you know what, the professional thinks, okay, you know what, I don't have an issue with this guy being able to buy a firearm. I clear him, you know. And you did say, what if it's some libtard who's anti-gun? I mean, it's the same thing with the judges in the damn courts. Like, who were we talking about earlier? With that dad who got his child taken away from him because, he didn't agree with his mom, with his son.
Oh, Luna.
Yeah. Remember we were talking about that earlier when we were eating breakfast. I mean, you can't pick your judges and what they're going to judge on. Just same thing with the doctor. I mean, I do not have an answer for that. You know, you don't know. All I'm saying is if they went through the schooling, they have their degree, they have their doctrines as being the profession that they are, and if they clear somebody or not, it's up to their discretion. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they should be totally barred from the Second Amendment. I'm just saying that if you have these issues, you got to go through these extra measures. The only reason I'm bringing this up is for a little more preventative construct, to try to prevent these mass shootings that we keep happening to see on a more day-to-day basis.
But the question,
as time goes forward,
why do we continue? Do we see more? And that's the question. And why, if so, why do we continue to see more? And I don't believe that it's a gun issue. I don't believe it's a gun issue. I believe that when you put these people, their face all over the news, and you make them famous, a lot of them, that's what they want. So if the media would be more responsible, and I know that's a big if,
true,
but if they were a little bit more responsible and just treated these people, obviously, you can talk about the victims and everything, and you can talk about the crime, but to put the killer all over TV and to broadcast their name, dude, that's what they get off on.
So, I can agree with that. Actually, if there was a mass shooting, it'd probably be good if they just didn't report it at all and nobody knew about nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of shit. Like I was saying, we don't really have news anymore. It's just editorial.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
It's a lot of opinionated bullshit.
But I think even like I remember I was telling you guys that song about Green Day called Bang Bang. It was about mass shootings.
How do you know that's not a trigger?
But listen to the words. It goes, I get my kicks and I want to start a rager. I want to dance like I'm on the video. I've got a fever for the violent behavior. I'm sweating bullets like a modern Romeo. It goes, bang, bang, give me fame, shoot me up to entertain. I'm a semi-automatic lonely boy. You're dead. I'm well fed. Give me death or give me head. I'm daddy's little psycho and mommy's little soldier. It tells you right there, dude. That's what most people are doing this, dude. They're doing this to get their one. They're doing it for their photo bomb. They're doing it to get broadcast to get their 15 minutes of fame. And if we stopped rewarding these idiots for doing these criminal things, dude, their names get plastered all over the news for how long? How long do you continue to see these guys' faces plastered?
Every day.
I remember the Las Vegas shooter was on there for at least 3 weeks. He was famous for 3 weeks.
Absolutely. And that's how they get their rocks off. In fact, I give huge kudos to Glenn Beck and the Blaze, because anytime there's a mass killing, one, they refer to it as a mass killing, not a mass shooting. Okay? Because mass shooting they purposely say that because it's about guns from the left. Now he reports it, or they reported it, the Blaze, as a mass killing, and they never report the person's name and they never show his or her picture. That's their policy. So if everyone was to watch just the Blaze, you would never know who these scumbags are. And so there would be no reason for the people that are the Bang Bang song mental people to go out and do it, because they're not going to get the 5 minutes of fame that they're looking for. That's a big part of it. Is that going to stop mass shootings? No, it's never going to stop it. I mean, their guns are banned in Australia. There's still mass shootings in Australia, mass killings. If the guns are banned in Australia, there's still mass killings.
Never ban guns ever.
In the UK, there's still mass shootings.
Cops can't even carry the guns in the UK.
No, but there's still mass shootings over there, and I keep saying it, but mass killings with guns.
The mass killings are done by mentally unstable people.
Well, of course you have to be mentally unstable, but how do you know when they're going to reach that pinnacle of a mass killing? You can't predict the future.
That's why I was saying you can't predict the future.
And most of them are done with illegal guns.
You can make somebody who we already know who has a track record by taking mind-altering medication go see a professional. But prior to their firearm.
Dude, how about the guy that blew up
to make it a little more difficult and have them go through extra measures and be cleared by somebody else, I think can prevent.
How about the guy that blew up Nashville like a year or two ago, that lit off the bomb up in Nashville?
So he was a right stand-up guy. He wasn't mentally insane.
But
he was mentally insane. But my point is this: nobody knew it. They knew he was a loner. They knew he was kind of a weird dude. But how do you prevent it from happening? Because you cannot. Everybody can Monday morning quarterback the deal and say, "Oh yeah, that guy was crazy. I knew it. I knew he was going to do something like that." Bullshit, because you never told anybody.
Right.
You're Monday morning quarterback in it. Don't give me that bullshit.
Okay, so that's one out of how many cases?
But dude, it's most of the cases. You can't predict it. Nobody knows. If you could predict it, we would already have a way to stop it. If you can predict something from happening, I can tell you this. The sun is going to come up in the east tomorrow. I can predict that because I know it's going to happen, right? So I shouldn't be surprised if it does. But you cannot predict these mass killings. You can't. You couldn't predict 9/11 was going to happen.
You can't predict mass killings. And I'm not saying everybody that's taking mind-altering medication is going to just go on a mass killing spree.
In fact, probably less than 1% do.
Exactly.
So how do you stop it?
Exactly. Weed it out. Make it a little harder.
But you're going to make it harder for the 99.999%.
Stop it, but I think it might stop 99.9%.
No, you're going to make it more difficult for 99.99% of the people that were never going to commit a crime anyway. You're going to make their life more difficult and more miserable because you want to catch
owning a firearm. You're going to make their life more difficult.
Absolutely.
Some people actually,
I do not need a firearm.
People use firearms as therapy. Absolutely, they do. They use hunting as therapy. I
could name 10 guys right now who use going to the range as
therapy. You know how many You know how many nonprofits are out there for vets where they take these vets out into the woods and go hunting? There's so many of those. Wounded Warrior Project does that type of stuff. The one that Dick Cheney was involved with did that kind of stuff.
So there's nothing else you can do to help you therapeutically.
I don't know.
You're telling me nothing.
I'm telling you that
you look
work.
At me. I'm a big ass nerd. Look at all the bullshit in my room. I collect all this nerdy
But that's
crap.
you. That's what you like.
Exactly.
Why should everybody like what you like?
What I do cannot inflict harm on anybody
But that's
else.
you.
Dude, I'm only using one thing as an example.
The vast majority of the vets that walked into this room.
You're telling me there is nothing else besides firearms that can help somebody therapeutically?
No, what I'm saying is,
come on, man.
It helps.
Dude, poker. And I'm naming a few things, okay? Poker, nerdy shit that I nerd out on, right? Yeah, there's a lot of things. Going to church, praising God, that's another thing. Visiting your family more, getting more in touch with your relatives, that's something that's therapeutic. Or how about going and helping the homeless? You know, going to your local homeless shelter, helping other human beings.
What if the person's an introvert?
Are you saying that these 501c3s?
The introverts are the one that fucking shoot people.
James Holmes was not an introvert.
You literally told me that these guys were lone introverts.
I did
that
not
are going
say that.
on mass killings that we
I
cannot.
never said that. I said James Holmes was actually a genius that went to college, was getting his PhD. That's the Aurora shooter.
And he's an introvert.
He was not an introvert. He was an extrovert. He was going to college.
Yeah. An extrovert who worshiped a fictional character, the Joker. He didn't paint his hair orange.
Nobody knew he was going to do that.
Cosplay,
That's
bro.
my point.
People do cosplay all the time and they don't kill people.
Nobody can predict it.
What cosplay did he go to?
He dressed up as the Joker.
No, he didn't. He just painted his hair orange. I mean, he did not dress up like the Joker. There was nothing.
That was his thing.
They just said.
But there was no red flags at that time that James Holmes was going to go shoot up Aurora.
All I'm saying is you're acting like shooting guns is the only therapeutic thing.
No, I didn't say that. Nobody said that. I'm saying that some vets do that.
Some vets do
that. That's what they prefer to do because they shot guns while they were overseas.
And
so they came home and they shoot guns as therapy here in the United States, and it's their God-given right to do so.
And I'm not saying that is not the right. They can do that all they want.
Yeah, I didn't say it was the only therapy.
Are they mentally unstable?
I don't know.
Are they
you tell me.
Mind-altering medication? No, I can't tell you that, but a medical professional can.
I have a headache. I take medicine to get rid of my headache. These vets have PTSD. They take medication to rid themselves of the PTSD, to control it. It's not like the medication is making things worse. It's bringing them back to normal. So if they're on medication, you shouldn't hold that against them. You should applaud that. It's the people that don't take the medication and don't get treated. They're the ones that have the problems. And how do you identify these people if they're not willing to go out and be treated and taken care of? You can't. It's impossible. So what you want to do is you want to punish veterans for going to get medication, to get the therapy that they need, when they should be applauded to do that.
You want me to punish veterans because you're acting like veterans are the only one that get diagnosed.
We're using about PTSD.
With PTSD, with schizophrenia.
I'm not talking about schizophrenia.
I'm talking about any mental problem. Any mental problem. And it's not just veterans who have mental problems.
Of course
you are
not.
Actually putting veterans into that bracket.
No, okay, so let's use anybody. Anybody that has mental illness and goes to a doctor and gets treated and gets on medication to be treated, you want to punish them by taking away their Second Amendment rights.
No, I don't want to punish them.
The more you do that,
I don't want to take away their Second Amendment rights.
The more likely people will not want to go get treated.
I want them to go through extra steps and measures prior to purchasing a firearm. I did not say anything about relinquishing their rights.
Again,
you are saying relinquishing their rights.
I said ask anybody in the chat room. Anybody in this chat room knows it's you that are trying to take away their rights.
They should go through extra measures prior to
that is taking away somebody's right because I don't have to go through extra measures.
They still have the right to go purchase a firearm. They just need to be cleared by a mental health expert.
And that mental health expert is a Biden voter who doesn't want people to have guns.
Okay, what if it's a mental health expert that's a Trump voter?
We don't know.
Exactly.
So you're going to throw it. That's a 50-50.
It's
You're
just
going
like
to throw it
saying
to chance.
how I don't know.
So you're going to throw the Second Amendment right to the
person's
chance?
Not going to go and shoot some like school up.
You don't know. So that's what I'm saying. So you're willing to throw the Second Amendment rights to chance instead of it being a God-given right. You're saying, well, let's hope. Let's hope the doctor's going to clear them. Let's hope the doctor's a Trump supporter. Let's hope it's not a Biden supporter. But well, if it is, too bad.
This mentally unstable person is not going to shoot up a public place.
Well, how many of them do?
All of them are mentally unstable.
How can you prove that?
100%.
How can you prove that?
Because
You
every
can't.
single news article that I read always brings up their mental instability.
James
and
Holmes was
what
not
they've
mentally
been involved.
James Holmes was not mentally unstable.
So he didn't have any prior social media postings.
Nope. He just
Dude,
did it.
The guy that shot up
Bring
that,
it up and show it to me then.
the guy that
Because
shot
I
up
would
that,
love to be proved wrong.
You
If
know-
you can show me
dude,
that.
people can have a totally normal life and they're driving their fancy cars and they have the nice home and then they get fired. And so they realize that now they just lost their job making $150,000 a year.
Yes,
They
I
know
know
their
that.
wife is going to be pissed. So they go home, they purchase a firearm legally, or they have legal firearms, and they go in and they just shoot the place up because they're pissed off at their employees.
Right?
How do you stop that? That's not a long-term mental illness. That's a dude that snapped because he got fired from a job for God only knows what reason. Maybe he told a dirty joke in the break room and some chick was offended by it, so he got fired because he told a dirty joke. Now he loses his entire income. He's going to lose his big mortgaged home and everything else, so he decides to just say fuck it. I'm going to go and I'm going to wreck the place. And I know that the media is going to put me on my face all over the TV for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be the celebrity, but I'm going to get even because people snap every day. People snap. And there's no way you can predict that. You can't say, well, that dude should have gone to extra levels of help. Nobody knew he was nuts. Maybe he wasn't nuts. There's no way. And all I'm saying is the sacred right to bear arms shall not be infringed. And that is what this country is founded on. And we can't just shit on it because a couple lunatics go out and kill people. That's part of living in a free society. And I will trade freedom. I will not trade freedom for safety at any time. In fact, one of our founding fathers said, if you're willing to give up freedom for safety, you deserve neither.
And I just saw that question too in the comment. They're like asking, do you want liberty or safety?
Okay, perfect.
And it's funny that you asked that because just like John Hurley, right? That was that guy's name. I am a 2A supporter. And if there was an active shooter and I had my gun on me, yeah, I'm going to take down that shooter. I'm not mentally unstable though. And I've gotten cleared. Free and right for all my firearms.
According to you, something could happen tomorrow that you could snap.
According not just to me, but like I just asked you before. I mean, you're in my home. You've seen my son. You've seen the way we act. Have we done anything to trigger you to show you that we're mentally unstable?
No, but no one does. That's what I'm saying. That is my point. The guy that gets fired, and this shit happens all the time. They used to call it go postal. Right?
Yeah.
And nobody knew that. It happened in the post office a lot because it was a stressful job. And these people they couldn't handle the stress. But nobody knew that they were going to do that. There's no way that you could say, well, this person should have been, because that's all we do. We Monday morning quarterback everything. And that's hindsight is 2020.
But with what I was suggesting could probably eliminate 50% of those mass shootings.
I don't think so.
Because you're bringing up like certain scenarios where people just snap on a dime. And I can see that. And
it happens a lot.
Your point is definitely validated. And I understand that. But with the last few shootings that we've heard of, these were premeditated.
No, the last one happened at that rail yard. And that dude went back. He was an employee there, and he went back in and he shot shot the people up.
According to Michigan Psychological Association, they discovered that only 11% of all mass shooters or mass murderers, including shooters, only 8% of mass shooters have a serious mental illness.
What's the 11% that you were talking about? What was that? You said 11%.
They discovered that only 11% of all mass murderers, including shooters, out of that 11%, only 8% of 11% of all shootings in America are mass. Out of that 11%, only 8% out of that 11%, so 92% of mass shooters have a mental illness.
Don't have a mental illness. 92% don't have a mental illness.
92% don't have mental illnesses. And that's from the Michigan Psychological Association.
They have not been evaluated as having a mental illness.
But how do you know?
No,
it's not like a pimple on your forehead.
No, you're getting ahead of me. So I'm asking the question.
Oh, sorry.
So 92%
don't
have not been evaluated that they have a mental illness.
It's what it says.
Mental history.
That they don't have mental illnesses.
And there's nothing leading up to their social media posts.
Again, this is from the doctors from the Psychological Magazine.
Think about this. Think about domestic cases, right? Where that's typically where most people get killed, or even it's most dangerous for police officers is domestic situations. A husband and wife can be having just a normal, fine relationship.
Yeah.
The man finds out that his wife's banging some other dude. He snaps and kills her. Did he have a mental illness?
That is, and exactly.
I think the vast majority of these situations are people. People snap. People get pushed and pushed and pushed. We live in a society that enough is never enough, right? And I'll use my brother as a plumber. My brother's a plumber. He can never do enough for his company. He can never unclog enough freaking toilets to make his company happy. If he does 40 in a week, he should have done 50. If he does 50, he should have done 60. They just push and push and push. And same with my job. I can never get enough sales. It doesn't make a difference.
I can say with my job too, man.
It's the same with your job. And people push and push and push. And you think you're in a perfect relationship, and then you find out your wife's cheating, or you think, your husband, or maybe your husband's cheating, whatever the case is, and you snap. Most people snap. Most of this shit goes down because of they just hit a point where they just lose it.
Point of no return.
They lose it.
What do they consider mental issues?
They said that.
Do they consider mental issues?
I'm going into that.
Is anybody taking?
I'm going into that. They also found that mass shooters in the United States were more likely to have legal histories, use of recreational drugs, abuse of alcohol, and histories of non-psychotic, psychiatric, or neurological problems. Non-psychiatric. In addition, the researchers noted that most mass shooters used non-automatic weapons. Among U.S. mass shooters, those with psychiatric or neurological condition were more likely to use semi-automatic gun. Well, that's just saying that they were, if they did have mental illness, out of the 8%.
They were using semi-automatic.
Yeah, the 8% used. Commenting on the study, Dr. Gary Baracco said that the finding from this potentially definitive study suggests the emphasis on serious mental illness such as schizophrenia, psychotic mood disorders, PTSD as a risk factor for mass shootings is given undue emphasis, leading to public fear and stigmatism.
Stigmatism.
Stigmatization.
That's like an eye.
Yeah.
Stigmatism in your eye.
So no, it's not. Mental illness is not the leading factor for shooting. Drug use and all that other stuff is.
Yeah,
and stress. I think stress is a big deal.
I agree.
Altering medication.
I believe that drug use can lead to mental illness.
But with saying that though, drug use, illegal drug use, Chico is saying something correct though. Illegal drug use is a mental
an alternating
alternating drug.
It's a mind alternating.
If you're using illegal drugs, then you should be behind bars. Okay, so you want to stop some of this bullshit? Start arresting people again for using illegal drugs.
Agree, but it's being enabled in society.
Well, it is being enabled.
Right. What are all these gun crimes? They're over drugs. Like
Chicago,
the most majority,
of course,
of gun crimes is caused over drugs, but they are taking mind-altering medication.
But But mind-altering medication being treated for like PTSD to take is helping the problem. It's not hurting the problem. It's not making you more violent and more prone to kill someone if you're actually being treated for PTSD. That flies in the face of logic.
Not just PTSD, any kind of mental issue.
But that's not even the problem, though. The
PTSD is just
that's
like
how many stats does he need to read before?
A few.
That's the definitive one.
I'm not gonna sway away from what I believe. I think that people should go through extra measures if you cannot control yourself mentally, you have no business controlling a firearm. If you cannot, me repeat, if you cannot control yourself, you cannot control a firearm.
So what if you
plain and simple?
What if you controlled yourself yesterday and you owned a firearm, but you lost control of yourself today and you killed somebody with it?
Well, then we need more John Hurleys out there, don't we?
Well, I think someone in the chat made a good point. Maybe we should just have a psychiatrist at every gun store so that we can go in and get a psych evaluation, and then go through that. Maybe put it in a big government database, so that we're just watched by the feds at every move we make. And maybe if we own a firearm, maybe we should go in for psychiatric evaluation every week, so that we can just make sure that screw freedom, screw liberty. We just want to stop shootings.
That's how communism.
The way I look
that's
at
how
it,
communism works.
I guess, man. Call me a communist. I just think that
just on this issue,
I think mentally unstable people should not be having weapons. That's it, man. I mean,
but that's already against the law. That's already against the law.
If that statement is communist, then
no, but that's already against the law. You can't be a schizophrenic and not be treated.
It's against a law that is not enforced.
So let's make another law. How many laws do we need to make before we stop these shootings?
How about we just enforce the law that we already have in place?
Oh, that's an idea.
Exactly.
No one's opposed to that.
You're agreeing with me. Mm-hmm. Oh no, we have everybody.
I think you wiggled. I think
you was strictly opposed to that.
No, you wiggled your room out of your argument.
No, you at
the beginning of this conversation, you were talking about
No, you said I'm trying to infringe on their Second Amendment rights.
And you were, because at the beginning of this conversation, you were talking about.
Reiterated a million.
You were talking about vets with PTSD should not be allowed to own a gun if they're on medication.
I said anybody with mental unstable.
We'll go back and rewatch it.
You said vets.
We'll go back and rewatch it.
You asked me, well, what about the vets with PTSD that just went and witnessed killings and all this? And I said, okay, them too then. I said anybody that cannot handle themselves mentally. And you said that in your statement. Oh, they lost their mind because they couldn't handle what they saw their friends go through. And I was like, okay, then maybe they shouldn't have a firearm either.
No, I said they witnessed their friends getting
just battering the vet thing.
No.
Yes,
you
did.
brought the vets up first.
No, you did.
I brought up the vets.
No,
I did.
John brought it up because he said, well, what about the veterans that are out there in the wartime that lose?
I used that example because the vets were already brought up.
I said, sure.
No.
Because
I said you brought the vets up. I said, so you're telling me, this is exactly what I said. I said, you're telling me some 18-year-old kid who decides to sign up for the military and go overseas and fight a war that he had nothing to do with, and he's over there shooting military guns and killing people. Meanwhile, some of his friends are getting blown up by what are they?
You also
IEDs or whatever.
You did say that, and you said also that
because it was brought up. You had brought up vets way before this. The whole conversation was about vets at the very beginning and having PTSD.
Look at the comments. They're saying to let Renee call in.
Yeah, call in, Renee.
The number's there. Call.
Yeah, 602-475-2000. Yeah, we're all set up.
Call in, Renee.
I'd love to hear your opinion on this, Renee.
Educate me, because I read that in the comments earlier too. She said, well, she'd educate me like I'm uneducated.
Well, just on this issue.
It says right here,
I guess.
According to PBS, but it's a liberal organization, approximately 96% of violent crimes, including shootings, would likely still occur even if every suspect with mental health condition was stopped before they carried out an attack.
Illegal firearms. 99% of gun crimes, which I also did say.
Right.
99% of gun crimes
So
are
you're
caused by
worried
illegal firearms.
You're like getting bent out of shape about hardly anything. You're looking at the bookends. You're
are
looking
getting
at
bent out of shape about hardly anything.
Psychological profiles.
Yes,
you are. Wait.
You told me that I'm infringing on people's Second Amendment rights.
You are.
And no, I'm not.
By forcing them to go through additional...
forcing them?
Man, I haven't even talked that much at all through this.
Yeah, let's give the floor to
Bear.
Bear.
Psychological profiles, by definition, are composed after violent actors have already committed their crimes. In the realm of forensic psychology, such profiles are conclusions, not predictions of what might trigger the next one. They never know what's going to do it.
Of course they don't.
They don't find out that these people have mental illnesses like the Aurora shooter until after they committed the crime.
A lot of times you have shrinks that think they can get into people's heads and predict behavior.
Some of these people,
and you can't.
Am I being accused of being drunk?
I'm reading so.
Jeez, man.
I think so.
Am I twerking right now?
No. We're having a heated conversation, but we're all still friends, right?
John Lovett has a great point. Yes, some of the nuttiest people in the world are psychiatrists and psychologists, and you're exactly right, Lovin. I'm with you on that one, buddy.
It takes a psycho to talk to psychos.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
To catch a thief. Yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way to protect it. And in order to try to predict someone's behavior, you've got to limit their freedoms.
Cheekos,
there's no other way to do it.
Minority Report. That movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise.
Dude, I haven't seen that in like.
Do you remember that though? That they were they were arresting people
prior to.
Yeah, dude.
I never said about arresting. No, I didn't say arresting.
I was just making a joke.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something funny too, man, but the Minority Report kind of threw me off. But
because you didn't think of that movie.
Yeah, no, I was thinking something different, but it'll probably pop up. But
how about you should pass a breathalyzer test before?
Renee,
I saw that. I'm just like, am I being accused of being drunk? Man?
Renee, the number on the screen, the number is on the bottom of the screen,
scrolling across
602-475-2000.
Look at the yellow bar at the bottom of the screen.
You know what? Yeah. Smash that like button.
Yeah, do that at least. You know?
If you're enjoying the stream, smash the like button.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
you know what? Earlier when I brought up about my katana, I saw a lot of ones.
They wanted to see it.
Smash that one if you're smashing a one because you want to see my katana.
For crying out loud. For crying out, 2 of the mass shootings this year, the FBI knew about them. They didn't do anything to stop them.
There's nothing you can do. You can't arrest somebody or punish somebody.
Those stories that AC is bringing up right now. And that's the reason why I'm talking about what I'm talking about.
You can't,
because the signs were there.
Can we say this though?
No, the signs.
There's already laws on the book. We should actually go about and enforcing the laws, and that's what it comes down to. That's what all of this whole debate is about. Just enforce the damn laws.
Law enforcement in general.
Yeah,
I'm not even drunk. John's
Lap
drunk.
Pat looks like she'd be mad, man.
She don't even want to see, dude. That's your boo thing, man.
I know. Like, are you saying no to me? Because now I'm all hurt.
The love affair is over.
It's over.
Oh, it's done.
The honeymoon is over.
Hey, Cheekos, it must have been love,
but it's over now. Dude, that was so surround sound.
I was no part of that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but John, you did enjoy it.
I did. No, I did. I thought it was.
I got Cheekos in my left ear, Bear in my right. Oh, I'm being serenaded.
Yeah, Joker to the left of me, clowns to the right, or clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right.
You need to.
Here I am.
You need to sing it out.
So dude? I'm gonna watch that show that you were watching earlier. That creep show.
Yeah. Oh man,
dude, that creep show looked good, bro.
It's a good show, man. And you know that's not even the best episode what I was showing you guys. It was a good one that kind of stood out to me, but I was just kind of just showing that because you already have Shudder. You told me that, bro. And I'm like, tell me you're watching like Creep Show or Joe Bob Briggs, and you're like, no.
Oh, that's what Lemon Pepper Wings said. He said, I said you should have done this more often. It's entertaining. There you
Well,
go.
we didn't have the Conservative Chicanos until Monday.
We just launched, bruh. But trust me, I'm sure there'll be plenty more where this came from.
You know what I love about having Chico on the show as the second Chicano now is me and him don't agree on everything, and we could have these heated debate conversations about it, but we're still friends after. Just like what happened now, man. We had a heated debate, and dude, we could after this. Well, you know what? We'll probably drink another beer, go to the casino, and dump some money.
I'm not going to the casino, by the way. Not now. It's 10:30 at night.
It's not. It's actually 11:30.
Is it really? Oh my God! It's 11:30 at
Oh
night.
yeah, look at the clock on my wall.
Oh, that's my computer that says it's 10:30. It is in Arizona. That's
I know
why.
you're still in AZ time.
Oh my God! I got to get up at like 6 a.m.
Are you gonna be able to do it?
to head home tomorrow. Oh boy! And I got to pack this whole
Yeah.
studio.
And I still got to stop by Tomasitas to get sopapillas.
3 conservative couch potato podcast.
Actually, I'm in a lawn chair.
We were going to call it the
yeah.
the 2 Chicanos and the 1 green coat.
Dude, you should tell the 3 conservative Chicanos and a white guy.
There's only 2 conservative Chicanos.
Chicanos.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, we can't. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
As of right now, there's only 2.
No, see,
Pablo?
what I just did
Pablo,
was
yeah.
infringing on her First Amendment. So I shouldn't have said
We got a new channel. We definitely do. The conservative Chicano. Actually, this is a relaunch of an old channel, Chicos.
it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Is that relaunch?
I could. Yeah, I'm not going to be like a regular on this show, but I will say,
who says you're not going to be a regular?
anytime that you guys, want to get into it, I'm ready.
2 beans and a quesadilla.
Dude, you know what? I am not looking for debates every single time. I mean, it just so happened to happen. this
Yeah.
time. I mean,
It was a good conversation. It really was.
dude,
Yeah.
look how much time it killed. What are we already?
2 hours.
and 18 minutes?
Yeah. I
Deep
feel
in-
bad we dumped the TCB show, though. We lost a lot of viewers.
Hey, man.
But it is what it is.
But the thing is, dude, is we came here to launch the conservative Chicanos, not the TCB show.
I guess if you want a Big Mac, you can't go to Burger King.
Nope. If you want to get this, you got to come on this show. And dude, and it
Exactly
got
right.
better after we closed it.
Yeah.
The people who didn't come over, they missed a really good debate.
Yeah. I think my blood pressure was up a little bit at some point throughout the
Oh,
conversation.
Man, see, I didn't mean to do that.
No, I'm just
Listen,
kidding. I don't
everybody
care.
gets
I don't care. I told you that. Nothing
I don't want you to
personal,
get
man.
heated, man.
Oh, here we go. Here she is. Let me set her up on the Roadcaster. All right, go ahead. You're on the Conservative Chicanos.
Okay, this is Renee.
Hi, Renee. How are you?
Renee B.
Hey, Cheekos. Hey, John.
Hi.
Hey,
No, I find fault with what your premise is because there are many good people out there who have went and got medicated and dealt with their problems.
Whose
Yeah.
premise are you saying? Are you talking about Cheekos?
Yes.
Yeah, my beloved Cheekos.
oh wow, dude, you're
Uh,
getting more love on this show than I do, and
Hey.
I'm an original Chicano.
you know, Renee, and just to like reiterate on my point, I like I said, and I feel like a broken record. It's like I'm not trying to infringe on anybody's Second Amendment rights, and people that have gone through the process to handle their mental instabilities and taking the medication and going through the doctor's orders, like more power to them. That's good, and they get cleared by a professional, a professional saying, yeah, this person is not a threat to society. There's no issue with them purchasing a firearm. That's awesome. That's the only thing I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what if you have the wrong person who said that you'll never be better? You never know the professional that you meet.
That is true. And I agree 100%. I mean, John was saying the same thing, and I agree on that. But it's just like anything. what else can I'm trying to think of something I can use for an example.
So I have depression, and
Sure.
on the license, if you have depression, you're medicated. You don't have to see anyone to be a nurse. If you're bipolar, schizophrenic, etc., you have to be evaluated. You know how many people in this country have depression and are medicated? You wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, no, I wouldn't be surprised because I do know what you're talking about. But how many more violence have we seen in the past few decades?
Well, as Bear stated,
How many more mental?
I don't know, but is that
No.
true, or is that
problems
just
have we seen?
reported? Is that just
No.
reported? Is it really
No,
true? Because in the Wild West, we were shooting everybody.
No, I believe, so far as Bear said, diagnosed people with mental illness are a very low percentage of shooters because they don't go and seek out treatment.
Right. But as a society, how many more mental instabilities have we seen? I mean, disagree with me if I'm wrong, but has there not
You
been
mean undiagnosed people?
No, how many diagnosed mental problems have we seen? Has there not been a spike in the recent few decades compared to
Oh my God.
before? How many kids are diagnosed with ADHD, autism, or whatever else they want to say, and being put on medication as opposed to 30 years ago? Like, what is the spike on that? I mean, have we seen?
There's a lot, but are you saying Bear's son is going to get a gun out and shoot people? Is that
No,
what
I'm
you're
not saying that.
saying?
All I'm saying is that if you are being evaluated and taking medication, and if you're looking to purchase a firearm, maybe you should go through a few extra steps prior to acquiring that firearm. I just want to know what's wrong with that.
No,
like,
but
if you are mentally unstable, why is it wrong for somebody to be evaluated and take a few extra steps into acquiring a firearm? Why is that wrong?
Because
that's a liberty thing. That's a liberty thing, and
right.
They're letting people stream across the border. Do you think they're going to have extra people to evaluate for gun rights?
No, I don't think that. And you know what? I also don't think it's a liberty thing.
Do you know how many? I've seen things in California. Rapists and killers have been deported and come back and do more crimes.
You know, this being illegal immigrants, which I totally agree, we definitely need to handle this damn border situation that's going on. There's no doubt about that. And with other countries and other illegal immigrants coming into our country, we have no medical history, and not just medical history, any kind of history whatsoever on these people. They're from a different country completely.
Right.
And so, I mean, this to me, what you're bringing up is like a separate issue. But how many illegal immigrants can you name to me right now who have been the suspect or perpetrator in a mass shooting recently?
None that I know of.
So what you're saying could be a completely separate issue, right?
But is it a big difference if it's one person being murdered versus 3 or 4? I mean, a murderer is a murderer.
And it is. You're taking a life. It's bad, but it's a 3 or 4 times different issue.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Do you know the whole mass shooting in El Paso?
Yeah, I know about that.
In Walmart.
Yeah, so I know about that.
This kid was from a suburb just a couple miles north of me. And the mother called up and said, I'm very concerned about my son. And he had apparently severe mental issues that had not been medicated and resolved. But she would not give his name or her name right before the act happened. So who's that? That is that. I don't know how he got the gun.
Yeah, that's funny. I was going to ask you the same question. I was going to ask you, so what do you think that we should do to prevent something like that? Because this guy, from what I read, traveled like halfway across the state, which
Yeah, he
Texas
was
is
north
like
of Dallas, like I am.
yeah, and
It's-
that Dallas to El Paso, that's got to be like an 8-hour drive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he definitely had a premeditated agenda. There's no doubt. I mean,
Exactly.
he didn't think anything else. So what do you think? I mean, because I'm proposing something to try to eliminate crap like this. You know what I mean? But I can only.
I don't believe he bought that gun.
Where do you think he might have acquired it from?
I don't know. I have depression. I'm medicated. The nursing board is okay with that. Okay. They are just like depression. It's fine. Medicated. But I would never buy a gun because they ask you about these things. But my husband has, 4 or 5 guns in the house. So do you think I don't have access to them?
I didn't say you didn't, but do you have do you have the need or the urge to go and use these guns in some kind of illicit manner?
No, but I'm.
Well, there you go. I mean, then what's wrong?
But I'm on mind-altering drugs, as you said.
Yeah, but can I ask you the same question again?
But that's your point, mind-altering drugs. So if I live by myself and I wanted a gun for some reason,
could you go and
would
purchase
that be
one?
okay?
Could you go and purchase one right now?
Yeah, if I lied, but I wouldn't.
So that's my whole point. Like, why should there not be like extra steps and measures for somebody
There's already
that
laws,
is on mind-altering medication? But look, she said she could go purchase one if she lied. But if there was something to prevent that, like if you go and like there's a red flag. That's all I'm saying. There's a red flag.
What does she need to do? Take a lie detector test once she fills out the form?
I told you what she needs to do.
But
I'm sorry, we cannot say this. We need a written document, like a certified document from a mental health expert.
Why can I be a nurse? Why can I be a nurse without a written document?
Huh?
I can be a nurse without a written document.
Because I was just making this point earlier. Bricks, people kill people with bricks, kill people with vehicles. Vehicles are built for transportation. Bricks are built for like constructing buildings. Firearms are built for hunting or taking a life. A nurse is a profession
around medication.
Is saving a life. Your
around
sole
medication
intention
that could kill people.
Your sole intention is being a nurse is to take care of people.
How many nurses have killed patients on purpose? Thousands.
Exactly. I'm around medication all the day.
Oh yeah,
Every day.
I and I'm probably nuts when I say this. I don't know if I should say this, but I think a lot of people in the medical field have purposely let people die that have COVID.
Dude, how many that dentist was packing people full of AIDS infected blood because he wanted to make sure that it wasn't deemed a homosexual disease.
Can I say something? Bad people are going to do bad things no matter what you do.
Amen, brother.
Mm-hmm. It don't matter if you're you could be
That's the thing. So why can we not take extra steps and measures in an area
because it's a violation of people's rights. That's why. It's a violation of your right.
If you have the right to go and take medication to alter your mind state, then you have
to make you better.
Then you should have the right to be evaluated and cleared.
That's not what the Constitution says.
Before purchasing.
That's not what the Constitution says.
Incorrect.
Dude.
So if a gangbanger goes in,
they're getting them illegally.
No,
that's a different thing that we need
let her
to
finish.
Stop.
Let her finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you stop. I mean, I'll let you finish.
So if I'm a gangster, if I'm a Blood or Crip or Tango Blast or whatever, and I go in, I haven't had a felony, okay, but I don't have depression on meds like me. I can get a gun, okay. I'm a badass, criminal, but I don't have a diagnosis or a charge, but I can get the gun.
Technically,
So who's worse?
You're not a criminal
Cheekos,
because you don't have the record,
Cheekos,
right?
Yes,
Cheekos,
you are. You break the law, you just don't get caught.
Who is worse, a nurse on depression, on meds, or this fucking idiot from the hood who's in a gang? So should we have someone there screening? Are you in a gang? Do you have depression? Who's worse?
The idiot gangbanger is worse. They're idiots.
Well, obviously.
Hey,
obviously.
Has there been an idiot gangbanger that's gotten a medical degree and became an LPN or an RN?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure they figure out life.
Technically, that person would not be considered an idiot because they did go to school. And I know for a nursing degree, correct me if I'm wrong, Renee, that's hard work. I mean, you put in your schooling, right? I mean,
no, but I'm just saying.
You just called James Holmes a psychopathic idiot. He had a PhD.
Brilliant.
He is an idiot.
No,
he went into a movie theater and shot like multiple.
No, but
people.
hindsight's 2020.
Goddamn thing to do, man.
But we didn't know that
the day before he did that. He was brilliant.
He's not brilliant because he let a
movie. You're
You're
Monday morning quarterback in it. You're looking at it from now.
A fictional character.
The day before, you never even heard of him.
What kind of brilliant person idolizes fictional
characters? You do. You've got a bedroom full of them.
I don't idolize them.
Dude, your bedroom's a shrine of fictional characters.
Idolizing, me and you definitely got a different term over idolizing. I don't idolize anything.
Dude, you just say it because he committed the crime. You're looking at it from an extremely myopic perspective because he committed the crime. Now he's an idiot. But the day before he committed the crime, he was brilliant. Everybody thought so.
Day before he committed the
There's
crime.
no way you could have predicted it. There is no way anybody could have predicted what he was going to do, and that's the point. And it comes down to freedom.
We're talking about one person
or infringement of freedoms.
No.
And that's what this whole issue is. Red flag laws are an infringement of your freedom.
An infringement is totally banning you from
No, it is not.
Getting a
no,
firearm.
it is not. That is not what infringement. Look it up. That's not what infringement means.
So if the paperwork we need to fill out right now and go through background checks, is that an infringement?
Yes, it is.
Then why are you not pissed off at that?
I am. I'm not for background checks.
Oh, so anybody?
So
I don't know.
I'm from Illinois. Okay, the worst gun laws in the country. Where are the most shootings happening? Illinois.
Yeah, but that's happening with illegal firearms.
That's just what I said. The worst gun laws, but everyone has guns.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to disagree with that.
So
if you're going to force people to jump through hoops, they're going to go get the gun illegally. If they want a gun. And they obviously did want a gun because that's why they're jumping through the hoops.
Registered firearms and serial numbers are an infringement on the Second Amendment? Is that what you're saying? It's an infringement on our freedom?
It is an infringement. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, this right here. No, we're opening up a whole nother door here.
Do you have to register a rifle? Do you have to register a shotgun?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Learn your gun laws. You do not have to register a rifle or a shotgun. You have to register handguns.
My rifle and the shotguns that I've owned before, I've had to fill out.
No, wrong.
No, I bought a Mossberg 500A from Walmart a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I had to.
You had to do a background check.
Background check, and
yes,
and it had a serial number. It was registered and everything.
There is no registry. You do not. I can go and purchase a rifle or a shotgun, a long gun from my neighbor. I do not have to register it. You cannot go to a gun show or anything else. That whole gun show loophole is a bunch of bullshit. You cannot go to a gun show and purchase a handgun and not have it registered. You must register it. There's no qualms about it. You do not have to register long guns. It is an infringement on your right to do so.
Well,
An infringement just means it's more.
Maybe it's the state that I live in. You know, I
It
don't
could
know,
be. I don't know.
'cause,
Maybe I don't know what New Mexico gun laws are.
well, I mean, we're an open carry state. I mean,
Well, we are too in Texas. You don't even have to have anything now. You can open carry.
Now, if you purchase the handgun from a dealer, it needs to be registered. If in Arizona, if I purchase a handgun from my neighbor, I do not have to register it.
yeah, we used to have that law.
Yeah,
but it was passed recently where we can't purchase it has to be from a dealer. You can't, in the state of New Mexico, you cannot purchase a gun
from a neighbor,
and which I do think is BS, right?
It's an infringement on your rights.
Yeah, but you also said going through a background check
is an infringement on your rights. An infringement is kind of a setback. That's what an infringement is. It is a setback. It is a way to prevent you from your rights.
You don't have any felonies. You're not a violent criminal. You don't have a.
May I say something?
Yes,
like
please.
To end.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cheekos, I don't think you understand mental illness and the degrees of mental illness. Depression does not mean you're schizophrenic. Okay? There are many degrees. PTSD doesn't mean you're going to be a mass shooter. It means you have trauma.
To deal with it, and I totally understand that.
Right.
So
but
if somebody that has personal issues that they need to deal with, why should they have a gun in their hand?
There's a neurosis and there's psychosis. And schizophrenia is a psychosis.
But here's the thing: everybody has things in their head that they have to deal with.
Everybody
has some kind of trauma in their head.
That's why people snap, and you never see it happening.
I'm still working through things from my brother being dying.
Exactly, but I'm just saying there are different degrees, and if you don't work with it, you haven't studied it, you don't know it, and I'm not discounting what you're saying because I get it, but there are degrees, and you have to be kind and understand and encourage people to seek treatment. And what you're saying is a judgment, very kindly, and I love you, Cheekos.
I love you too, Renee.
But I'm finding difficulty with you on this, and I'm a bit offended.
And that's not my intent. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying if there's somebody out there that can't handle themselves, why should you be able to handle a firearm? That's my only question.
But as I said, there are diagnoses and degrees. So if you say someone with mind-altering drugs, it can be a very simple antidepressant. You're not freaking out, and it's not impairing you.
Well, I guess I've been, a lot of my firearm training, actually all my firearm training was professionally done in the military. If you are not mentally capable of having a firearm, I mean, if you can't even make your own bed, they're not going to give you a damn firearm. I mean, they're going to wash you back, and you're going to have to keep going through that training.
I'm going to be very vile here. I can fucking, save someone. I can run around the hospital. So I can make my bed. So perhaps I can handle a firearm.
I'm not saying, okay, see, you're taking what I'm saying personal and literal. All I'm saying is I'm going back to my military training. Exactly. They're not going to hand somebody that has obvious mental issues a firearm. A drill instructor is not going to be like, here you go. I know you've been acting kind of weird, but here's a goddamn hand grenade.
They're not going to keep you in the military.
Here's a hand grenade.
They're not going to keep you in the military
exactly.
if you're psychotic.
So you're
automatic weapon.
Time out. How many soldiers right now are serving in the United States military that suffer from PTSD?
Yeah, but did it happen when they first got there? Or did it happen afterwards?
They're still serving at this moment right now.
Yeah, but did they initially go in with PTSD?
No.
Exactly.
Actually, yes. Some of them. There has been raped victims that enlisted in the military that serve our country.
Okay, but what's the percentage of that?
I don't know, what 10%?
Oh, 10%?
Yeah, and I've
Kind of high.
Dude, there's a lot of women that get raped that don't report it.
I'm not going to disagree with that. But
but even at that though, we have people that serve to go to Iraq, deal with PTSD, Purple Heart veterans that get out, or not even get out, still serve with the Purple Heart that have
talking
PTSD.
About basic training. If somebody's got the drill instructor can see it that this guy's got some problems. This person's got some problems. Do you think they're going to knowingly, when they see that or they feel that vibe, they're going to knowingly hand you a loaded weapon and say, "All right, let's get out"?
They have. I've seen it, dude. I've seen it all, bro. I went through military police training. There's a bunch of idiots that probably shouldn't have had a gun that graduated.
There are a lot of idiots. I agree with that, man. But there's a difference between
Private Gurchinov,
ignorance and a mental.
Private Gurchinov looked like a weeble wobble motherfucker, and he graduated basic training.
Listen, if you go in and you're deemed to be psychotic,
you get chaptered.
You get chaptered. They're not going to let you serve, like angry conservatives.
Let me break this down even further.
Not just are they not going to let you serve, they're damn sure not going to put a weapon in your hand.
Of course, because that's what the military is for, is blowing people, killing people.
Can we break this down?
But you have to be physically and mentally stable to handle that.
Let's break this down even further, okay? Do I think a psychotic person should have a gun? No. But
we agree.
But there's a difference between somebody that's on mental, that has mind altering medications that are not psychotic.
Thank you.
But we could all agree psychotic people should not have guns. I get that, and I'm all yes.
I agree too.
If you're schizophrenic, you're not allowed to own a gun. If you are determined to be schizophrenic, you are not allowed to own a gun. So your whole point is moot.
I agree with you too. Not everybody taking mind-altering medication is considered psychotic. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of mental experts too that agree with that would clear them and say, all right, there's nothing mentally psychotic about this person. They can have a gun. Here's the
and then he goes out the next day and kills his wife and shoots up the mall.
Well, then
what? Then what?
That fucked up. Right? Whole problem fucked up.
You can't stop it.
It did eliminate most of it.
No,
you know what happens, Cheekos? Let me tell you what happens, because this is the United States of America and we all love lawsuits.
Bless the USA.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Okay, let's say I go to John. John clears me. You know, Bear, you're good to go. Guess what happens? And John's a good doctor, a good, great doctor. I have a bad day at work. I go up and I shoot up the whole hospital. Guess what's going to happen? Every one of my victims is going to sue John.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
John, I'm right.
Then John has a bad day from being sued, and then he grabs a gun and he goes and shoots everybody else too. He shoots all the people trying to sue him. And your point is what? I mean, all I'm saying
you're setting up doctors for malpractice lawsuits.
What I'm setting up is like a preventive.
What if you have a Biden follower, a doctor, a liberal doctor, who said nobody should own a gun? Nobody. No one who has a diagnosis.
No doctor's going to
ever own a gun.
No doctor's going to want to sign off on anybody.
They're not going to be able to prevent. They're not going to be able to prevent everybody from legally purchasing a firearm, because most people who go out and purchase firearms are not on mind-altering medication. Can we agree with that?
No,
we can't. So you're saying most people who purchase legal firearms are mentally unstable?
Most people, dude. I think 80% of the 80% of the medical
mentally unstable is one thing.
Yes.
Having depression or anxiety is a different thing. If
you're taking mind-altering medication, you are mentally unstable in my eyes.
No, you just said that 10 minutes ago. You said that was not the case.
I said being psychotic is not the case. Mentally unstable is a totally different thing. You are mentally unstable if you're taking mind-altering medication.
You
Am I
could be-
not speaking English?
You could
So
be
are
men-
you
wait,
telling?
wait.
You're saying Renee is mentally unstable and should not be allowed to own a firearm because she
told
suffers
me-
from depression.
She told me that she's suffering from depression,
Right.
and she's saying that
But
she's a nurse and she could go and kill all kinds of people. What is not
that's
mentally unstable about
mine
that?
Dude,
statement?
anybody right now, even without a medication or not on medication, could be mentally unstable. You go through a traumatic experience, like me losing my brother. That's gonna put me into a somewhat of a mental thing. I'm not gonna go report it, dude. And guess what? I go kill somebody. Dude, anybody could be on be mentally unstable and not be diagnosed with it.
And this is why our vets that do come home they do not want to go through PTSD training because they don't want to be deemed mentally unstable, because they don't want to be marked and they don't want their freedoms taken away from them. So
if they have a traumatic brain injury, they do not want to.
That's exactly right. They don't want to be around someone like, not to be too harsh, Chico, but they don't want to be around. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be labeled by people like you that want to label people because they don't want to lose their freedoms. And that's a scary situation. And that's why it boils down to either it's freedom or it's safety. And our founding fathers knew it would happen and they were smart about it. And I know you don't want to hear this, but this is the facts. When anytime you infringe on somebody's rights, you're violating their rights. And you can't do that. These people, God forbid, I mean, if there's anybody that should deserve to get treated and not be labeled, it's the people that are overseas fighting for our country. And then they come home and they don't want to be labeled because they know that comes with lifelong supplies of medications that's going to make them feel like shit, that's going to make them jittery, that's going to make them all blah. It's going to make them feel like vegetables. And there's people that are lining up to take away their Second Amendment rights because now they're on the medication.
That's the
so
thing.
They skip it. They say, the hell with it. I'm not going to do it. I feel fine, Doc.
They're not going to.
And they know what to say.
The people that you're talking about are not going to be evaluated by these medical professionals. I said people that are on mind-altering medication.
But people are skipping it.
Talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Medication.
People don't want to go on mind-altering medications because you and other people want to take their rights.
Can I ask you a question? You are on mind-altering medication. You said that. Do you want to go and do you want to go purchase a firearm?
Well, I could.
Do you want to?
But I have them all around.
I'm asking you, do you want to go purchase a firearm?
I do.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking Renee. Renee, please answer. It's a yes or no question. Do you want to go purchase a firearm?
Firearms might not be her thing.
Can she answer the question?
No, but actually, I like target shooting. So if my husband didn't buy them, yeah.
So that's a yes. You want to go purchase a firearm?
Yeah, but not for killing anyone.
No, I didn't say that. I just asked you a plain question. Like, do you want to purchase a firearm? Like tomorrow you wake up, you want to purchase a firearm.
I have a non-lethal weapon in here.
So being that you are on mind-altering medication, you want to purchase a firearm. What's wrong with somebody asking you a few questions and clearing you and say, okay.
Because it's a violation of her rights.
I'm not saying you're a violent person and you're going to go and kill anybody. But what is wrong because you're on mind-altering medication? What is wrong with somebody saying, okay.
Because it's a violation of her rights.
She's not a violent person. She's fine.
You know how hard it is for people
a 20-minute
to get
interview. You're in and out. You're in and out.
No. So is the gun shop owner going to quiz me? Because there will be
the
no
gun shop owner is not going to. They're not going to quiz anybody. All they need is an official document. Just like, my AK-47, for example. I went and bought an AK-47.
I'm not too sure about your Cheekos.
When I went in with my
Should you buy that?
Okay, let me finish. When I went in with my driver's license, it had my previous address on there, not my current one. And when I filled out on the paper, I put my current address on there, and the guy looked at it and said, "Okay, well, this address doesn't match what's on your license." I had to go to the DMV, wait in line, get my new driver's license, which wasn't expired, and get my address changed to the DMV. And then I had to go back and show that. So I had to jump through all these hoops, and I had to do that. So what's wrong with somebody who has taken that has a history and is taking currently mind-altering medication to actually jump through these same hoops as well?
Can you explain
what is wrong with that?
How you gonna overcome the federal HIPAA law with that though? Because now you're wanting my doctor to go tell the gun owner my personal medical information.
No, there should just be automatic a system. Whatever the doctors are putting in,
dude, you're talking about
only thing.
You're talking about a federal database of mental illness. You trust the federal government with that information?
Nope.
Are you crazy? Dude, you might as well vote for Biden. What's
crazy?
stopping you from voting for
Maybe I
Biden?
should go get that mental evaluation.
Maybe you should.
No,
So
man.
I would prefer you said mood stabilizing.
You're talking about Biden. What if Trump was in office? Would you be whistling a different tune? Probably.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You literally, you said you don't trust the federal government with Biden in office.
I would not trust
No,
Trump with a federal database. You would.
I don't trust nobody with my.
Are you? You're
I
trusting
just
this
said
mental deficiency database that you think everyone that has been tested for mental illness or diagnosed with mental illness
everybody that's
diagnosed should be dumped
medication
should be dumped into a database? You want Big Brother watching over this group of people? You think that's okay?
Medication? Well,
oh my God!
But that's between.
There you go. There you go.
But that's.
It took 3 hours, but we got to it. And that is the big difference between a conservative and someone that believes that big government is the answer.
Oh, man.
That's the truth.
You're talking about labels, and look at what you're doing to me.
I'm not labeling. You
Yes,
said
you
it.
are.
You said it, dude.
No, I said
dude, I almost fell out of my chair.
I said that hours ago. There should be red flags.
Cheekos.
There should be red flags.
So you trust the federal government.
I'm sorry. I'm here, Renee. What's up?
Mind altering sounds like a hallucinogenic.
Yes.
Mood stabilizing sounds therapeutic, which is back to what it is. Mood stabilizing. Mind altering is inappropriate.
But we were just discussing about shooters having a bad mood in a bad day. And that's why they became shooters in the first place, right?
I'm saying medication-wise. Mind altering is like acid.
No.
Mood stabilizing is
if your mind, if you're mentally unstable for whatever reason, and the medication you're taking is changing your mental, that's mind altering.
No, incorrect.
She's a medical professional.
I know. I'm not. She is, and I'm not.
Have problems with serotonin. There's serotonin uptake inhibitors. There are so many things.
Let me address this Latin Patriot question. The Conservative Chicanos. So what happens if, since Cheekos has weapons, if he becomes ill and needs mind-altering medications, does he now have to relinquish his weapons or voluntarily send the police to get them?
No, because I purchased my weapons legally already.
So what's the difference?
There is no
They
difference.
should be taken from you.
Why?
Because you're now on mind-altering medication.
So now you're
no. This is
government.
what you're saying.
No, you're federal government. Now I'm going to flip it
No,
on
this
you.
is what you're saying.
You just set yourself up, John.
Dude,
you are doing this.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Is Cheekos even listening? He's trying. He's not even paying attention at this point because he is backed into a corner, and now he's trying to weasel his way out by trying to turn this around on me.
You just weaseled your way out. By
I read a freaking question.
The game on you.
No, wrong. You're the one. You're the one that's pushing for federal red flag databases.
Flags, that's it.
That's
flags
right.
For mind-altering medication.
So
that is it.
You go on mind-altering
and you call
medication.
Me a Biden flipping.
No, you go on
federal government supporting.
See,
all
now
this
he's
crap.
shouting over because he doesn't want to listen. So
you're shouting over me
because I'm trying to make a point because Latin Patriot has a great point. So you go on medication. You should then have to relinquish your firearms.
I'm not on medication.
I'm saying if you had to go on,
I don't even take Tylenol.
I don't care. It's an if. Do you know what the word if means? If you go on some sort of mind-altering medication, are you now required to turn them in, or does someone have to call the police to come take them from you?
Did I say that to begin with?
It's a question. I'm asking you a question.
And I'm asking you a question too. Did I say that?
So should they have to?
No. Did I say that to begin with?
Okay, so it's okay if you bought your guns before you were on mind-altering, but now that
there's a loophole to everything, right?
Oh my God! See, there you go.
Bear is sitting back there.
There you
all
go.
relaxed.
There you go.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy beyond belief.
Hypocrisy.
It is total hypocrisy.
A loophole.
Oh, it's a loophole.
I told you that there's a loophole to everything.
It's a loophole.
That's all.
As long as you're not affected by
you're talking over me
by your fascism, as long as you're not impacted by it.
Fascism.
It's okay.
Biden supporter. He is insulting me.
Well, I had my guns first before I went on my mind-altering medication.
Yeah, but that was my whole argument from the beginning. Is if you are on mind-altering medication, then you should not be able to purchase a firearm.
So if you have 50 of them in your room,
your firearms, and you're not on mind-altering medication, you got those free and clear.
So if you have 50 guns sitting in your closet, and then you go on mood stabilizer, you got 50 guns in your closet, and you want to buy the 51st one, but you started taking medication yesterday, you can't.
Well, you can keep your 50. Then, right? You done fucked up.
Oh my God! See the hypocrisy.
Apparently, SWAT needs to come in and get those weapons.
You didn't get me. You're just
gotcha.
This makes no sense.
I didn't say it. Lemon Pepper Wings said it. You're got, dude. You're backed into a corner. You can't back out of this one.
No, and I never tried to back out because that wasn't my argument from the beginning. I never said, all I said is if you're on mind-altering medication, it should prevent you from getting a firearm.
So what if you have 50 of them in your closet?
Well, then you already have them. Then
so you can't go out and mass shoot people with those? You're only gonna go shoot the people up. You're only going to shoot the people with the new gun?
So you have the 50 firearms already. So what's to say that this person with the 50 firearms prior who hasn't shot and killed anybody is going to go shoot somebody with a new gun?
Well, what's
exactly? You proved my point.
No, you're proving my point.
Thank you, John.
What are you saying that
you're saying nothing?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, I said, you are going beyond what I'm saying.
No, we're not, dude.
All I said,
you're backed into a corner.
If you are taking mind-altering medication, you need to be. I think you should be evaluated.
So you should turn your guns in.
Steps further prior to purchasing a firearm.
So you should have to relinquish the ones that you have now.
I did not say that.
Why not?
You are putting words in my mouth.
So why not?
All I said
can you not kill people with those guns?
If you are taking mind-altering medication,
can you not kill people with those guns you already have?
If you're taking mind-altering medication,
stabilizing medication.
Well, I'm just using his words. I know I'm using his words.
You're saying mood stable. All I said is if you're taking mind-altering medication, then you should be evaluated.
Yeah, there you go. Angry Conservative said you said that the doctor that dressed up as the Joker, those guns were purchased before he was on any type of medication, right? Who knows?
Exactly.
So
and
that's fine.
You guys used that argument before, right? So I mean,
so you can't buy your 51st gun.
I said
because you're going to use that gun to kill everybody, but your other 50 guns, you're not.
You threw percentages at me, and I said all I'm trying to do is prevent a certain percentage. And I said, what's wrong with somebody being evaluated? And you never answered that question.
Because I
did answer it. It's a violation of your rights.
Somebody's
calling in.
Oh yeah, let's take that call. How do we do this?
Lord Almighty, man! I did not bring this up to start being accused as a fascist and stuff.
No,
but
you're insane. That fascism is when you prevent people from having their rights.
I'm not preventing nothing.
The only
thing I try to prevent is a certain percentage of mass shootings
I honestly don't think that, and this is me. I don't think, let's say we did implement your plan. It's not going to stop the mass shootings.
It's not going to stop anything.
I said not completely, but it can stop a pretty good percentage.
It won't.
So let's violate people's rights.
It won't, but it's never been. It never happened.
Dude,
so
it's the laws are already
like the Democrats
there.
Who said building the wall is not going to prevent illegal immigration. Because I've heard that argument before.
There's places.
But now it's been tested and it worked.
But there's places.
You don't know. Like you just told me, I can't read the future.
Yes, we do know, because in Australia they already have gun laws where you can't even own a gun and there's mass shootings.
Same with Chicago.
And then
Same with Baltimore.
I'm being called a drunk and a fascist.
I'm not calling you nothing. I respect you.
The comments said drunk.
Oh,
John, you
because
call me a fascist, man.
no,
That's fucked up,
your
dude.
statement is fascist, dude. You're
No, it's not.
trying to force people and control people. And dude, the Soviet
No,
Union, it
it's
was mentioned
not.
in there earlier. The Soviet Union used
That
mental
is
illness
not
to control
control.
people. Yes, it is control.
Giving
You're
people
taking away. You're
medication
treating
and
people differently. You are treating people differently.
Diagnosing people with mental issues and providing them medication, that's control.
How's that?
Because
You went to
you're
the
telling somebody
talk
what
over
they
each
are.
other and
You're
get
telling
you to
somebody
calm
what
down.
they are and what they need to take.
Who's on
That
the
is
line
a
right
form
now?
of control.
Yeah, who's on the line right now? Is that
I was saying you guys all need to calm down because you guys are talking over each other, getting too excited, and it's getting ugly.
Mud.
Who is this?
Mud. That's you, Mud, huh?
Latin patriot.
Ooh,
Oh.
left hand. Ooh.
Latin patriot?
Totally did.
Hey, we're all still friends, right?
Totally.
Of course we are. Yeah, of course we're friends. This is just a good
Hey, I just
conversation.
want you guys to calm
It's a
down.
heated conversation.
You guys need to relax, breathe,
Yes.
take turns.
Maybe another smoke
You know,
break
go
is in
back to
order.
the chat because I
I
want it
just, dude, the only thing that just kind of like set me off was, is that another call?
No, it was she let us go.
Oh.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that just set me off, because when we were engaging in the conversation, I didn't say, oh man, that's a liberal statement. You support Biden. And
No,
this
there's
big
a
government.
stance.
That's a fascist statement.
There's
I
a-
did not say that.
There's
to
a
you.
stand.
And
No,
you're
that's
like-
okay.
And I'm just like, whoa. You guys calm down, because what you guys are doing is taking what I'm saying out of context, probably for views, because all I'm trying to say,
Dude, there's 6 people watching. We're not saying anything
now,
for
because
views.
we've been on like 3 hours. But all I'm
This is
saying,
a conservatism versus
Yeah.
non-conservatism argument.
no, I'm not non-conservative.
Red flag laws are not conservative. There are no conservatives
no.
that support red flag laws.
The only thing I said should be red flags is when you're taking
Well, I don't-
medication for any.
That's a
kind
red
of,
flag law. And conservatives do not support red
No,
flag laws.
I didn't say like taking guns away from anybody. Like, everybody can still buy a gun. I did not say that. All I said is just, okay, you need to go through a couple more steps before acquiring the firearm and getting it in your hands. That is it.
I get it, but
That is
the question was raised, and it's a legitimate question. It was raised by the chat room that if you cannot purchase a gun because you're taking these drugs, you keep calling mind-altering drugs.
Okay, if
No, let me finish. This is the question that was raised, and this
Okay.
is a question that you don't want to answer. So if you cannot purchase a gun, then why should you be allowed to own guns if you're on those mind-altering drugs? So the question is, do you voluntarily give them up, or does someone need to call the police to take them from you?
No, I did answer. I said, you know what? Then you done fucked up. That's a loophole. You can't get any more guns. But you didn't answer.
But you want to
question.
save everybody's life. So how
Hold
is that
on.
going to save everyone's life?
You didn't answer the question that I embedded with what you were asking me. That person obviously has not gone on a mental shooting spree with the other 50 guns that you said he had.
But the
Prior
person
to
hasn't
it.
gone on a mental shooting
And when you
spree
said when
either.
they have a new gun, what's the difference, right? And I said, exactly, what's the difference? If they haven't gone on a shooting spree with the old guns that they already
Okay,
have,
but they haven't gone on a shooting spree if they don't own any guns and they're
Well,
going to buy one.
if they can't,
They
buy
haven't
that,
gone on a
if
shooting
they can't
spree.
buy that new gun, but they already
There
have
you go.
50
Infringement
other guns.
of a right. They
If they-
can't buy a gun.
No,
you are now infringing on their rights.
But you didn't let me finish. You talk over me just like you're accusing me of doing. Right?
Go
You
ahead.
just did that.
I did. I admit it. Go ahead.
Good. So they already have 50 other guns, right?
No.
So-
I'm talking about the guy with no guns.
You brought that up. The guy that has 50 other guns and then all of a sudden starts taking mind-altering medication. Now he
Mhm.
can't buy a new gun. So what's wrong with the other 50 other guns that he has?
You tell me.
And they're not being taken
What's
away.
wrong with the-
They're
the-
not being taken away.
What's wrong with the one he wants to buy?
They're not being taken away.
Okay, but let me ask
so
you-
what's the infringement?
What? Because he can't buy another one.
Because he's mind altered on drugs?
So It's okay to own a bunch of guns.
So it's okay for a mind-altered person.
No. It's okay. You're saying it's okay for them to own guns as long as they don't try to buy another one.
You're saying it's okay
That's what you
for
said.
somebody on mind-altering medication to buy new guns.
I did.
Why?
Because it's their right. It's called the Second Amendment. It's in the Constitution. That's why.
Then why? I mean, here's the thing.
And if you don't want to stand behind the Second Amendment,
No,
then
I
just
am
admit
standing
it.
by the Second Amendment.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I totally believe in buying guns.
Unless
You're psychotic.
the unless. No, you did say psychotic.
Yeah, mind-altering medication.
Mind altering. Okay, there you go. But it's okay if they're on mind altering
If your mind is altered, why is it? If you cannot control your mental stability,
Yeah.
why can you control a firearm? Answer
then
me that.
you have 50 of them in your room, and you said that's okay.
So you said why are you trying to tell me I can't control my own mental stability?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
Then
about.
why don't you answer my question, John? If you cannot control your own mental
Then
state,
let's force them to
See, there
sell
you go.
all
You
their
talk
guns.
over me. You
Let's,
talk over
no,
me.
I'm answering your question.
No.
Let's sell them to. Let's
you're
force them to
you're
sell
not
all their
answering my
guns.
question. If you cannot control your mental state, then
Mhm.
what makes you think you can control a firearm? Answer that question.
But isn't alcohol a mind-altering medication?
Yes, it is.
Do I have a firearm in my hand?
No, but you have
Exactly.
Oh my God! So now it's just about in the hand. Come on, man. You're reaching it. This is so ridiculous. So you're saying that someone with mind-altering drugs, your word, cannot go and purchase a firearm because they can't take control themselves, but so they can't purchase a gun. But you're also saying if they already have guns, that's okay.
Right. So if you're drunk, can you get in your car?
No,
and
see, you didn't
drive?
answer.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. But is there a law against that? Are they infringing on our rights?
No,
Because you can kill people out on the road, right?
that's
You're
right.
mentally
But there's no amendment in the Constitution or anywhere in the Constitution
you-
that states that you have the right to own a car.
It's a privilege.
If you're in a pawn shop or a gun shop and a guy comes in, he's drunk, he stinks like alcohol, you can totally tell he's fucked up. Should he be sold a gun?
I don't know.
No, they're going to infringe on his rights if they don't sell it to him, right?
I don't know.
Come on, man. He's in a mind-altering state.
Yeah. So
So
your answer
come
would be
on,
no.
man.
Your answer would be no.
Exactly, no. Just like if they came in to buy another bottle of liquor
Mhm.
in the same state, no, they shouldn't. And that's not an infringement on rights.
It sounds like an
That's a
infringement on the
protection.
Second Amendment.
No, because
they can't prevent you from
Dude.
buying alcohol because it's in the Constitution that you have the right to purchase alcohol.
you do have the right to purchase alcohol.
Mhm.
But if you're fucked up, man, come on, dude. I mean, there's children, women out on the road, man, and you're knowing that this person is fucked up and you're handing a bottle.
Yeah, but
to
he's
him.
already drunk.
All right, here you go, bro. Have a good time.
He's already drunk. Is he going to get drunker?
Yeah, but who's to but who's to tell the cashier that he didn't drive there? What if he walked there? What if he took an Uber there? What if he
You don't know that.
teleported there?
All right.
I'm
And you're right.
being facetious
You're
with that
right.
last comment.
I know, and you're right, but I'm just saying, like, knowing, being the person behind the register and knowing that, and handing that person that bottle of alcohol, or even a firearm. Say, like, you're a gun dealer, and this person is
Okay, let me ask
drunk.
you
If
this
he's drunk?
question. Let me ask you this
I mean,
question.
come on, like,
Let me ask you this question.
shouldn't you like have common sense and be like,
But let me ask you a question though.
no, you have the right to refuse service to anybody, right? I mean,
But here's
But you
the
also
thing.
have the right
let
to
me
sell
ask
a
you a
gun,
question. Let me ask this question. I'm gonna ask. This is gonna be like a 3-part question, and I just want yes or no's. Okay. Is alcohol a mind-altering drug?
yes,
Okay. Is tobacco a mind-altering drug?
Yes.
tobacco.
Yep. It is.
Well, I guess like
It
with
is.
stress or
Mhm.
with something.
It is. Okay. Should you have to go through the same questionnaire as somebody that takes Advan to buy a gun?
How do you purchase Advan? Let me ask
You get a
that
prescription.
question. And okay,
And then you go
do you
buy.
have to
how
get
do
a
you-
prescription to get alcohol or cigarettes?
Technically, you have to have an ID.
but it's not a prescription.
It's still a
You
mind.
do-
But
do you have to go see a
based
licensed medical
based on
professional?
your statement, your blatant statement. It is a mind altering drug. You said yes.
Yeah.
So should you still have to go see a therapist to get if you say yes, I use alcohol and yes, I use tobacco?
I don't know. Is it prescribed? Did I get prescribed alcohol from a licensed medical professional?
It's still a mind altering drug. You said it. It's still a mind altering drug, whether or not
you're doing what John did. Man.
I'm not
you're swaying away from what I'm saying.
And no, I'm not. I'm using your own statement, Cheekos.
It is a mind altering.
Okay,
drug.
then you should have to go through the same thing as anybody else that gets Advan.
Okay. All right, cool. Take a piss test. If you got alcohol in your system,
no.
Fine.
Based on your statement,
wait until your piss is clear, then buy a gun.
Okay, then how are we going to find out your tobacco?
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
That tobacco is, to me, I'm sorry, that's not a mind.
It's a mind altering statement. It's a mind altering drug, and I've used tobacco, and I know it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what Renee said. It's a mood. It's a mood. What did she say? Mood inhibitor, something like that. So there you go.
Let's see what the professionals say.
Renee's a professional.
I took care of the pawn shop
She's a
owner who
nurse,
sold
right?
the gun to John Hinckley, who shot Reagan. He said he seemed fine. There you go.
What?
There you go. John Hinckley. He shot Ronald Reagan.
I know that's a vague statement, though. I don't understand. Renee, are you saying that you?
Oh, here it is.
Personally, did that, or
by the tobacco company
stabilizer.
themselves? Tobacco is a plant that contains nicotine, a psychoactive mind-altering drug that speeds up activity in our central nervous system.
So it's mind-altering. So
I think anybody that takes alcohol, tobacco, Advan should go through the same psychology.
So every smoker,
NyQuil. I bet NyQuil is
every
mind-altering.
every smoker in the military.
Yep,
That's
every
it.
one of them.
You guys are out.
No,
Out of the military.
I'm not
Even
saying
though
that.
We
I'm
had
just-
decades.
Yeah, we're not saying it.
We're not
You're
saying that.
it.
I'm saying that you
So,
have to go through the same
I
mental
said
problems.
prescribed medication, and
It's
cigarettes
still a
are
mind.
not
It's
prescribed.
still a mind-altering drug.
I asked you, did I have to go to a doctor to get it?
You
So
still.
what's the difference?
You have to get
Because it's
you have to
prescribed.
get a prescription to get a patch, a tobacco patch, if you want to quit smoking.
No, you don't.
So then it should be fine. The drunk
No, you
guy
don't.
walking in to buy the gun should be just fine then, because he didn't have to go to the
Well,
doctor to get the
I
prescription.
guess so. If the guy that's selling the gun has no common sense whatsoever and just hands the drunk guy a gun, shit.
Well, yeah,
man.
but he didn't have to go to a doctor to get drunk. To get
no,
to,
he didn't.
So that
That's
should be
exactly
just
my
fine
point.
then.
That's
In your
exactly
opinion,
my
it should
point.
then they should buy the gun. They should just be able to sell the gun to the guy that's hammered.
Chocolate's
yeah,
a mind
I guess, man.
chocolate.
You know,
the cocoa
this-
bean.
I think it's everything's starting to go down the crapper. I mean, because from what I said initially, I was like, if you're on mind altering medication, yes, you should.
But
be
tobacco and
evaluated.
alcohol are mind altering
then
medications.
Here's what I messed up on: prescribed mind altering medication, which is what we were all thinking.
So an
until you brought up
alcoholic
cigarettes.
that's hammered all the time. Don't worry about that. That's perfectly okay if he owns a bunch of guns and goes out and buys a bunch of guns.
Let's just all agree to disagree on this. On
John,
this.
thank you. If you agree with that, then that's cool with you.
No. That's what you're saying,
No, you're
because
saying
you don't
I'm-
need a prescription to buy
you're
alcohol.
saying
It's
that I'm
12:30.
infringing on somebody's rights because I'm refusing service to a drunk guy who
You
wants
are.
to buy a firearm.
Yeah,
No,
but that's fine
you're
because they're not
infringing-
prescribed.
You're infringing on the seller's rights for their right to refuse service.
No,
to
they can
anybody.
They can refuse service.
Good. So then we can agree to disagree. Because if you're saying I'm infringing on the drunk guy's rights for him to buy a firearm, that you're infringing on the gun owner or the gun seller's rights to refuse service to anybody.
So if the gun seller has the guy fill out the form and do the background check and everything passes, you're going to refuse the man because he smells of alcohol, because maybe he just had 2 or 3 drinks at the bar next door, and then on his way to buy a gun, he
Look,
stopped. He saw a friend. His friend bought him a couple drinks, and now he cannot buy a gun because he reeks of alcohol.
Because he's drunk. Yeah,
But he didn't get a prescription for that.
that's
That
common
mind-altering
sense.
drug.
That's common sense. It doesn't take a medical professional to see somebody that's drunk and stinks like alcohol.
but
obviously drunk.
But the professionals have said it's alcoholics that do a lot of these shootings too.
That's true.
Yeah, and if somebody is in there showing signs of alcohol,
But they've already owned a gun.
Don't you think that the gun dealer
You're
can
missing.
see
You're
somebody
missing the
that's drunk and
point.
say, "Hey, man,
But you're missing the
I'm
point.
not going to sell you this gun. You're
But you're missing
not
the
in your
point.
right mind. You're intoxicated."
The Las Vegas shooter was drunk when he killed all those people.
Was he drunk when he bought the guns?
No, he was sober. But you're missing the point. He had no mental illness at the time of purchase. He got drunk and he shot people.
Right? And the Las Vegas shooter somehow got drunk and split into two people and shot from two different windows.
He ran back and forth.
I'm gonna do this, guys.
But no, you know what? Okay,
let's agree to disagree on this subject.
You found a loophole. He wasn't drunk when he purchased firearms. He wasn't on mind-altering medication. He passed the test. But how many of these people who are law-abiding citizens, who aren't drunk, who aren't on mind-altering medications, who buy firearms legally, go and shoot mass amounts of people?
92%.
92%.
92% of legal gun owners go and shoot mass amounts of people?
I misheard you.
Exactly. You guys are not listening to me.
I misheard you, man. There's a difference. Not listening and mishearing.
Well, I asked. I was like, how many law-abiding citizens who are not on mind-altering medication and who are not intoxicated in time of purchase of legal firearm go and shoot mass amounts of people?
0.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like probably 0.0.1%. You know what I mean?
Probably less than that.
It's like getting struck by lightning. You guys, all I'm saying is if there is a known history of mental illness and mind-altering medication, then they should go through a more extensive background check and maybe get evaluated by a professional. That's it.
Okay.
And you guys are telling me I'm a fascist?
That's never come out of it.
I said it's a
fascist idea. And
that's a fascist idea.
You know what I mean? That is not fascist, man.
When
by keeping guns out of people with
but you're not trying to keep guns out of people's hands. Because you said as long as they own them before they started taking the medicine, that's okay.
Let's just all agree to
disagree. So you're not trying to do it.
You don't. Yeah, but here's the thing: you don't want to agree with me, John.
I don't because it's not that I don't want to; it's that I don't.
You are telling me
because I believe in freedom over.
I believe in freedom, man. But I also think that we should have the freedom to know that mentally unstable people who are taking mind-altering drugs should not legally be able to purchase firearms.
But they can own them.
If they owned them, I guess what? Because they were like normal before?
I guess.
And
that's okay?
That's a loophole, man.
So it's okay if they own 50 guns, they just can't buy their 51st one.
It's just like saying somebody voted for Joe Biden yesterday and now they're going to be for Trump tomorrow. That's okay. Yeah, it's a loophole.
That doesn't even make sense.
Let's agree to disagree, guys. Let's just end it with this.
Yeah, what you're saying doesn't make sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. How did they
get firearms before if they've been mentally
because insane? They weren't taking the mind-altering drugs according that's your word. But mind-altering drugs when they did purchase them.
Of mental unstableness.
There's people.
How did they get it?
There's people with undiagnosed
mental illness every day.
Yeah, I walk around.
It's like I said, it's not like a wart on your forehead. People don't notice it.
Okay, you know what? And I'm going to apologize to Renee. I'm not trying to get you upset by saying mind altering. Okay, I'll just stop. All I was is that fan blowing on you?
Yeah, dude, I got cold.
Sorry.
Hey man, don't dude. Hey, I think this is America. Yeah. We all have our own opinions on this.
First Amendment.
Yeah, and we have all expressed it.
I shouldn't be labeled as a fascist.
You're not a fascist.
I didn't label you as a fascist. I said that idea is fascist.
Like I said, we can agree
red flag laws.
I'm not a fascist.
I didn't say you were a fascist.
My ideas are not fascist either. Far from it.
Red flag laws are fascist.
But let's agree to disagree, and we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Trust me, we're all going to be friends at the end of this. It was just a good conversation. It was.
Love you too, Renee.
I love the fact that we all could voice our opinions. I love America because we could host these shows and talk about this.
Exactly right.
But thanks again, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. God bless from Cheekos. It's your show too.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. God, man, 3 hours and 20 minutes. This is one of those long ones.
Did you imagine doing another 3 hours?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thank you.